I'm sorry. Can you say something? Thank you. Hey, Kay, how you doing? You having a good night? I'm echoey. Oh, it's probably because I'm being picked up by Kendall's headphones. I got her in Discord as well. That did not come through, by the way.
Hello.
There you go. I think you might need to turn down your sensitivity here.
I'll leave my mic.
I'll leave my mic up if I'm not talking.
Okie dokie. Yeah. Just another day in the grind, right?
Say something.
Something.
Ooh.
Yeah. So is it me being echoey or?
It's you because through stream I sound fine.
Okay. Uno momento. How about now? Am I still echoey?
It takes a moment.
Awesome. Yeah, I had two channels open on my mic. I should probably go clear out my mixer. You would think somebody like I, who has years of audio experience, would know better. Oops. In my defense, I'm a little rusty. Yeah, I know. Shame on me. I don't even own an amp anymore for my guitar. My have the times changed. That it does. That it does.
I'm like so terrified I'm gonna get black on this white.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It's never fun trying to clean up dark colors on white colors. This white takes forever to get in the first place. What I'd like to do now, I'm sitting here thinking about at some point, go see a damn concert. I haven't seen one in years.
Have fun.
Fun.
Yeah, were you? Agreed. Just don't know if I'll enjoy it as much as I used to when I was younger. Talking about what I'm doing here with painting, but at the same time, it's like I'm just doing something new here. It's not usually how I paint these. Actually turning out pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. Alright. Kind of looking. I have the lead belcher.
Yes.
And the retributor if you have it. So you're throwing paint at me now?
Yes.
Kind of using this as a test bed because I have to do those time lapses I was talking about earlier. It's like, all right, camera, why are you shaky? Why are you shaking? There's a couple different ways. You can use programs to do it, or it's kind of like a fast forward motion, where it only like it skips a couple frames here and there, and it kind of just flies through everything. Like you condense like an hour or 2 hour, however long the thing is, you can condense it down to like 10 minutes or however fast you need it to go. I'm still kind of digging into it myself. It's like I'm sure I could figure it out. It's going to take me a minute. Fortunately, I don't have that many minutes to give to it. There definitely is not enough time in the day, that's for sure. I want to go back to being a kid where days felt like eternities. Sure didn't. We're like, oh man, I gotta wait 2 months for that? Now it's like 2 months feels like 2 days. I know. We're already a few months into 2021.
We've almost hit the year date where I went remote from my previous job.
Yeah, I know, right?
17th of March.
Yeah. Yay, St. Patrick's Day. Even though I don't drink anymore. Because I am old.
I don't know if my current boss gives me holidays.
St. Patrick's
Hi.
isn't a holiday. What's up, Chuck?
It's a holiday. I want to get shit-faced.
I didn't pick up.
I know you can hear me now. I have a headset. Now it's just to start streaming.
Baby steps. Baby steps. Of course you can, Chuck. You got a Discord. We have a Discord channel. Gold, gold.
I mean, that's how we have this set up right now. I'm just in the Discord channel.
I'm sure Kendall would be nice enough to send you a link. This is just a chill day for us anyways.
Let's see.
Check your email.
That didn't go through, by the way. So you got any fun plans there, Kat, for St. Patty's Day? Welcome to the club.
Hello, Chuck.
Ooh, this could really be dangerous.
What's up, Chuck?
Not too much. What's going on?
And now Chuck has a direct
And now Chuck has a
access to
direct
us.
access to us.
Yeah, he sure does. Just painting elves, man. Just painting elves.
You're not old.
You're not old.
Don't tell her that. She told me. Haha. She might kill me.
You're an old man.
You're an
but
old
that's 'cause
man,
you're
but that's because you're man.
Hey, I'll join the old club. I'm 51. I'll admit it.
Yeah,
I would not expect that.
I think you win on that one, Chuck.
Even amongst all my friends with Dustin and them, there is only one person that's older than me, and it's only by like 6 months. So
Again, now
Yeah.
Now I just feel like the baby child. I'm only
The only-
26.
the only way I'm going to be young is if you start counting my age in dog years.
Yeah.
So
Your Iron Hands have been scheduled. They're scheduled for later this month or early April.
Okay, that's fine.
Just want to let you know.
Okay, I appreciate it. I'm
Yeah. Kendall's sensitivity needs to be adjusted.
That's it.
Yeah, you got a delay going on, and it's only picking up half the things you say half the time.
It may also be because my mic is not next to my face.
Oh, I'm sure that probably doesn't help.
Can you hear me now?
Good. Nobody?
There we
Yeah, yep, I can hear you.
Okay, cool.
I was going to say I didn't have a problem, but
No, I was
No,
just
it's just
noticing
because
it
I
earlier.
represent he always has a problem.
no, Kendall, you'll find that I'm really laid back as a customer. So when you get to them, you get to them. I'm not.
Yeah.
I personally am not too worried about it. So if someone comes in and they're hot and heavy to get their miniatures painted, that's fine.
So basically,
Right
everybody
now-
besides Chuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now I'm working on a miscellaneous order. I've actually been working on this all week, but I've been
Yeah,
having
me
some
too.
problems
That-
with it.
I'd love to go back to 26.
It's a bunch of Necrons, Mechanicus, Death Guard, Orcs. Like, it's all over the place. Why would you want to go back to 26?
Because it's better than 32.
Touche.
Hmm.
For the most part, at least.
Yes, he's 36.
Yeah, I'm 36 now. That's right. We're youngins, Chuck. I know. We got no room to be complaining.
I was just thinking about the whole would I go back to 26, and probably not.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't get married until I was 35, and
Ah,
I
gotcha.
wouldn't. While my wife and I like to snark at each other and occasionally throw things at each other, I wouldn't give her up for.
Usually how it goes, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't give her up for anything, and I definitely wouldn't give up my daughter. So, yeah, I'll stay where I'm at.
I
I'm
don't
good.
blame you.
Jesse would get rid of me in a second.
God, that's toxic. I hear you laughing over there. That's straight toxic.
It's crazy. New York lady coming out here to the middle of nowhere.
Okay, so where in New York? Like, are we talking
I'm
New
actually
York?
from Connecticut, but most people, if I say I'm near New York or if I'm in Connecticut, they automatically assume New York. I'm from
Okay.
Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Okay, I actually know where that's at. So,
Yeah.
There is no
I
keeping me young.
Oh, you expect me to keep him young? I knit and crochet and want to do needlepoint. I'm not the person to do that.
I'm just gonna sit here and paint my elf where it's safe.
Good plan.
A for effort. I mean,
So you want me to just leave these Necron blades black, right? You were gonna do something with them?
Yeah, I'll do the Necrony glowy,
Thanks.
whatever
Thanks.
you want to call that. They're force wielding weapons. Young Jesse was a
Shade known
troublemaker.
young Jesse.
Young Jesse was a little crazy for his own good. Uh,
What color do you need me to throw at your head now?
nothing. Not yet, at least.
I don't honestly think any of my friends or I can say that we weren't troublemakers. So,
mean, Isn't that the point of being young?
yeah, you do all the stupid stuff when you're young. That way, when you're old, you go, "Oh, that hurts," and you go, "Oh yeah, I remember that."
Yeah, it's like you remember
Oh,
that
was
one
that
time.
fun?
See, I just hear that, and I'm just like, I did absolutely nothing. Like, I wasted
You
my
lived-
life.
You lived a sheltered life, apparently.
Oh, the first thing I had to do when she moved out here was fix what movies she's seen and not. Because, like,
The best
I
time to
make movie
explain it.
references all the time, and she'd look at me like, what?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
Like Back to the Future.
Growing up-
She never saw any of the Back to the Futures.
Growing up,
Wow.
I was the nerdy white girl in the ghetto. I didn't have friends. I wanted to play D&D, but no one wanted to play, so I kept to myself. And then I moved out here, and now I'm painting miniatures as my full-time job.
Oh, how the times have changed.
And now slowly I'm dyeing my hair bright red underneath. He's a bad influence.
Nah, I would say he's a good influence. I mean,
Like, how would I be a bad influence? I mean, yeah, I allowed you to be
Yeah.
able to go do a full-time job of painting miniatures. How often do you get to do that?
Yeah. And no, I love the red. I want to do like a bright red. It's taking time to get the brown out.
well, I'm just thinking, he invited you to a place with space because, there has to be some space out there.
Oh, of course.
Introduced you to, really quality movies that you apparently had never seen.
He's preaching here. I mean,
I mean, my wife has absolutely nothing to do with gaming. She cannot figure out how anybody, either a teenager or a grown man at 51, can sit around a table for 5 to 6 hours and either roll dice and play Dungeons and Dragons or push little plastic guys across the table for that long and then spend hours talking about lore. It blows her mind.
Understood it. I'm actually a Ren rat. I've been working Renaissance Fair since 13.
Ah, okay.
So just I was into that D&D. It's just no one around me wanted to play.
oh, what's that, cat?
And then I come out here and he teaches me Warhammer.
Oh, hey, I didn't make you run away from home. Now, come on.
I didn't
I
believe it
totally
for a
forgot
minute,
you
Jesse.
dyed your
So
hair though for a minute. What's that, Chuck?
I read that about the whole making her running away from home, and I didn't believe that for a minute, so it's okay. And as far as dyeing hair,
I think I would remember this.
You say that.
Okay. I really can't say anything.
You have old
I know
man
I don't remember it, but I also remember what kind of a troublemaker I was, so I can't rule it out either.
I believe you.
Wait, I hid in a lady's basement? Was this the lady with the dog? Like the tiny dog that we were supposed to be dog sitting? She's gonna make me think now.
Oh god, the smoke's gonna start.
Gonna start.
I somewhat remember that. Chuck, I'm in trouble, man.
it's okay. I'm just thinking the chat got suddenly a lot more interesting since I hopped on. I don't get all of this behind the scenes stuff, so
Yeah,
Yeah,
usually
normally,
me, it's
like-
just here. It's like, yeah, we're gonna put a little color here today, put some here. Oh no, now you get to learn all the fun facts.
We haven't really thought about it, but I had to do some extra work anyway tonight, so he's like, just hop on Discord, talk with us. I'm like, you could always have the people who watch you join us, like
There's
the
a
long-time
reason I have
people.
earbuds in. I'm trying to keep the smoke inside the head.
Hadn't thought of this before.
I'm just gonna warn you against that, Jesse, because if it doesn't come out the ears, it's gonna find another hole
It's
to
gotta
come
come out of somewhere
so
else.
nose, eyes, somewhere, and it's gonna hurt even more.
Yeah, I should have done this a while ago. This is way more entertaining.
I was gonna say, you may not have gotten it through typing chat, but I'm really a sarcastic SOB at heart. So
All right, well then we're gonna get along just fine.
Yeah, from now on,
And I think Jesse's gonna be like, does anyone want to hop and chat with me and bullshit? And I think this will be towards a new norm for him, right?
Oh yeah,
hey,
I love painting, but like sitting here for 4 or 5 hours at a time just explaining what I'm doing, like it gets a little old. I mean, I enjoy doing it. Don't get me wrong, but I'd rather sit here and like shoot the shit with people, you know.
it makes the time go faster. It really does. So that's
Should
why.
have been.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, it's okay. Ladies first.
Good.
I was gonna say normally we do a 40K Friday where we hop on my Discord and BS for like 2 hours while everybody glues their fingers together or whatever they're planning on doing or drinking their paint water.
Yeah, good old paint water.
Or, depending on the week, drinking something stronger than paint water while we're sitting around BSing. But
Paint
yeah,
water, also
it makes
known
time.
as mother's milk.
Oof. I only took a sip once.
I think I've actually been fortunate. I have come close, where I have lifted it up, but I looked down just in the nick of time to see what I was about to do.
You think I would have by this point when I always have a cup of coffee sitting right next to it and it's the exact goddamn color?
You play a dangerous game, lady.
You do. That's like Russian roulette with paint water.
No, I just know whichever
Kat,
is
you
more
can
towards
jump in
my
here too if
right.
you want.
Yeah, you can always join us, Kat.
I mean, you already have access.
I'm actually almost done with these Necron, I think. Like most of it's the blue glowy light now, and some shading. Yay! These Necron are, I hate to say it, are horrible.
When you say horrible, what do you mean?
They are the old.
Oh,
Like
you talking about the
resin?
old fine casts?
Yes, and they're more towards the end of the line of that fine cast mold. So like parts don't fit together, and there's extra parts on them and everything.
Yeah, it sounds about right for fine cast.
Yeah, they were reaching that point. Like there's not much I can actually do.
I think that's why they ended up buying Forge World. Is that what happened? Because I know they're like either they're partnered together now. Because I know back in the day they weren't fully partnered. I know they used to make stuff for Games Workshop or had a license with them. But now it's like you can tell that their sites are like totally integrated.
Yeah, as far as I know, they are completely integrated now. I mean, Forge Company is probably like a subsidiary, if anything, but yeah.
It sounds about right.
GW pulls the strings.
GW always pulls the strings.
Well,
I
they
couldn't
picked
find
up
something like
Astartes, so
I saw that. I was actually really stoked. I mean, I'm sure you've actually watched those clips, right, from Astartes?
oh yeah, many times, like everybody,
person-
like every geek.
Exactly. Like the person that made them, just mwah. They're amazing. Like, where was this dude for all like the Warhammer 40K video games? It's like he nailed like the essence of 40K. It's dark, it's gloomy, it's serious at the same time. Where a lot of these companies that put out the video games, they kind of like end up screwing up the atmosphere.
Yeah,
There's a couple good ones out there, of course, but for the majority of the part, they end up screwing the pooch, and that's one thing you don't want to do with 40K, because 40K fanboys will eat you alive.
exactly. It either has to be perfect
Don't
or
even do it.
forget it. Yeah,
Exactly.
don't do it. You're grot food at that point. Squig food, I
Right.
should say.
Like, I don't know if you ever got into like was it Eternal Crusade? It was like it was supposed to be like 40K large MMO woo, and then it was all crowdfunded, had a bunch of money, and then it turned into supposed to be like Planet Side. And I'm like, okay, all right, cool, and then it just turned into matchmaking.
Ugh.
It's so sad.
I didn't get into it. Yeah.
Well, I was super stoked about that. I was like, I get to run around as an Astarte, through these campaigns, with an MMO and a story and everything like that. I thought that was going to be amazing. And then it just turned out to be basically playing matchmaking like Call of Duty. I was like, no, this is not what I paid for.
Well, hopefully that new game is gonna be good with the Astartes. I think it was.
You talking about the one with the
Or-
Imperial Guard?
Yes.
Plays like Left 4 Dead?
Yes.
I'm sure that'll be good. I mean, Vermintide was pretty good. I mean, who doesn't like running around smashing rats?
Still want to play Slanesh.
Skaven.
Yep, good old Skaven.
I mean,
Is-
I played Skaven in Mordheim, so I
Did
wouldn't
ya?
want to go around smashing rats.
Yep, and then they also have the new Total War Warhammer 3 coming out. I want to play as Slanesh.
Yeah, if you notice, Chuck, I might have made her addicted to 40k and Warhammer in general. So I think I've done my job.
I was gonna say I'm teetering here between good job and attaboy. I think I'm gonna go with attaboy for that one.
You know, I think I would take either one, honestly, at this point. I'd take either one.
Like even my sister's interested now. Like she thinks it's awesome.
Jesse, well, way to spread the cult of the Emperor.
That's what I do.
The Inquisition
my
is pleased.
Good.
My sister
Maybe I'll
isn't
get another
also
sandwich.
But she does eventually want a full army. But Jessie does not really like the colors that she wants for her army.
Oh.
Is it red?
No, hold on.
I had to ask.
Pepto Bismol pink.
Ooh, like
Hold on.
Emperor's Children pink?
No.
No.
Emperor's Children are more purple. I'm talking like straight pink.
Yeah, I thought I
Like
saw.
bubblegum.
Maybe it was Duncan that printed one or
Look at
painted one.
stream.
Wow.
Pepto Bismol pink.
I actually I'm speechless, and that doesn't happen very often. Wow.
She wanted like a little one to start off with it, so I did one of my old Marines, and all I've done is airbrush it right now, and she's like, I need it.
Okay.
Is it? That's not my fault. I mean, I just spread the word of the Emperor here. I didn't choose colors.
And then my sister brought it up to her boyfriend, fiance, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I like Warhammer Space Wolves. Go!" And I'm like, "Are you fucking serious?"
See, now I'm okay with this. I will get along with him just fine.
And she started asking me about like what army will I be playing, and I'm like, trying to explain it to her, and she's like, "I don't really get it." I'm like, "Brooke, it's battle nuns. It's space battle nuns."
Gothic space battle nuns.
And she's
Nuns
like,
with guns.
"Wait,
Nuns
your
with guns.
Wiccan ass is playing battle nuns?" I'm like, "Yes."
Because they're cool. I mean,
She just also finds it ironic in the same point.
Understandable, but
Well-
I mean, they're nuns with guns.
Nuns
I mean,
with guns.
they're kind of contradictory in themselves.
Oh my god, now I need cows with guns, but I need it to be nuns with guns. I need it.
Chuck, what have I done?
Created a monster.
I was gonna say, remember, people tend to forget this even when they read Frankenstein. You can build the monster, but you can't control the monster.
Yep, it's too late now.
I really like the shield that elf has.
All right, there. Yeah, I mean, I like
Yeah.
the decoration on it.
Yeah.
It gave me a lot to play with, like a lot of things to like trace around and stuff like that. 'Cause, I mean, I did another one. Was it like last week or whatever?
Yeah, I
I
remember
used-
seeing it. You,
yeah.
you actually painted it on stream, the
Yep.
shield. Yeah.
I used two different styles for that. I was thinking about using, the same, OSL, kind of like a cylinder band, like I did with this one on the
Mhm.
left. But I was like,
Yeah.
I kind of want to trace around all that stuff and give it like that eerie kind of glow look to it.
Yeah.
I like them both.
Yeah. I will say I will say if I were a player, I would look at you and say, okay, I want the rank and file to have the one on the what is my left, the one you painted last week,
Okay.
and then the boss man or boss woman, whoever, the one on the right because
Thanks,
it's
Matthew.
a little slightly more
Go ahead, Chuck.
since it's slightly more detailed.
Even
Or
The camera's
glowed.
not flipped, so if you're looking at it, your left is your left, your right is right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not flipped for us.
Okay. Just making
yeah,
sure.
you see exactly what I'm seeing. Yeah, but you know the fun thing is like it didn't take me any. It took me the same amount of time to paint this shield compared to that one.
Huh.
I think I did a little bit more blending on that one. I think that's probably about the difference. Just so that way they played a little bit more. I wanted these highlight greens to really pop out, so I didn't want to fade them in too much.
Mm-hmm.
But like that's what I started doing. Like even on their chests and everything like that, I'm using that same concept across all the green plate.
Right. No, that does. That really looks good.
Yeah, and then I still got to figure out because they want me to do some freehand on that banner.
Mm.
So, still thinking on what I'm gonna do with that.
Just while we have you in chat, just because I just thought about it,
Yes.
I have messaged you about something, but it may have gone to your spam folder.
I have not received anything from you, so that is a possibility.
Because I sent you an email to update you about our email changes. Just thought about that.
That one I received. I think.
Okay. We were having an issue where it was going to spam, so I actually didn't know if you got it.
Because you know they broke all my things, Chuck. They broke all of my things.
Don't you hate it when people come through and just break your toys?
Yeah, and you're just one of our
Oh.
customers that.
I'm just glad that I caught it when I did, because like it worked Sunday night. I think it was Sunday night. It was one of the nights I was talking with customers, getting things lined up and everything like that. And then I was at work the next day, and I was like, you know what? I forgot what pricing I had for this, so I just gonna go hop on my website quick just to take a peek. And that's when I got hit with the, this webpage does not exist. And I'm just sitting there like, what?
I thought you were checking
What do you
something
mean
for
this
work.
does not exist? I think I would know if this didn't exist.
Thought you found out while you were at work because a customer site was down or something, and you want to just check the internet, so you went to ours.
Well, yeah, that too. Like I was kind of multitasking at the time. That's how IT works. We don't do just one thing. We do multiple things at once.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But I was hopping on there. Go ahead, Chuck.
I was going to say, we throw all the plates in the air and pray to God all of them stay up there. But occasionally one breaks.
Yep. Every once in a while, we get hit in the head with one too.
Yeah. I always blame my boss for those ones. Stop throwing stuff at me. Yes,
Swift
I
Wolf,
get
I
it.
long
want you
time,
to
man.
stop throwing stuff at me.
I didn't throw anything at you. I mean, this is toxic. It's toxic. How you
Hello.
doing, Swift Wolf?
The last one I received, Kendall, was Monday,
Doing pretty good.
I believe.
Playing with a lot of elves.
Yeah, the last one I received from you was Monday, March 8th, 8:50 p.m., saying you wanted to notify me that the Iron Hands arrived in good condition.
Okay,
I sent you another one after that. So, okay, that one definitely went to spam. But Jesse probably has already updated you on our change of emails temporarily.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Let me... I love going through my spam filter because it's so much fun.
I thought that would be the highlight of your day.
Yeah, it's almost as bad as talking to two of my supervisors at the same time and one of them yelling at me because the other one's not talking to him.
Oh, no, I
Oh, I sent it before that. Okay, no, you're good. Because I sent it at 5:51 on Monday. So, no biggie. You got
Oh,
emails. Doesn't
So,
matter.
so I did get all of
Yes.
Oh, okay. Good. I can get out of the swamp that is my spam.
Yes.
Yeesh. Yeah, see, because
Totally missed
of
spot
the
there.
last thing you sent, I have to move all of your emails pretty quickly. So prying
Swift,
little
you done any
eyes
fun
who comes in.
projects
And,
lately?
They left.
they'll be here tomorrow.
Okay, awesome.
I-
I was
I
trying to
tracked it.
remember.
They should have arrived today, but UPS decided to hang on to them for an additional day for some reason.
They took them out of the box to play with them.
As long as they arrive here, I don't care if they take a day and do that. I'm good.
I just hope you like them.
That is a good question, Swift Wolf. I could tell you that they're elves. I'd have to find a box. It's actually a company that I've never
They
worked on
are-
before. I think it was like Rack Ham or something like that.
Rackin something. Rackin Wald or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Hold on.
I mean, there should be a box over there.
Do you remember who
Thank
this
you.
order's for?
Off the top of my head. I think that was Charles. That's it, Chuck. Working on too many people's models. I'm having a hard time remembering people's names now. It's either that or I'm getting old man brain. Could be either or.
I can't remember names. I've never been able to remember names.
See if we can find the box.
I can usually remember names if I talk to somebody a bunch. But like, if it's like a one-off thing. Nope, and I apologize.
Found it. Confrontation.
Yep, that is the... Oh, God.
That's
The
Rackham.
series? Yep, Rackham Confrontation.
I just found the box.
They're actually pretty detailed models for what they are. I was actually delightfully surprised. Because I haven't heard of these models, period, until they showed up at my door. But that's actually a pretty nice thing when we do these paint commissions. I see all kinds of new things, you know? I get to see all the toys. And then I get to figure out how to paint them. So, Chuck, when you're ready, you can send me more red now. Because by the time I'm done with this, as long as it's not an elf, I'm going to be good.
I don't have any more red.
Yeah? Did I already get them all
I'm
today?
s- I mean, yeah, you finished the last of my red. So until Games Workshop decides to get off their collective tuchus and, spit out some more, well, till they get off their collective tuchus and give everybody models.
I was
And
about
event-
to say something, but
Yeah. I'm trying to keep it PG, so I'm a dad, remember?
not what I
that.
was thinking.
But yeah,
No.
and I mean,
Upstairs, we actually have a custom 3D model of Sanguinus.
You can
Yeah.
get it if you want.
I mean,
I
would
don't
like-
trust
I would-
myself.
I mean, you can't break it worse than I can repair it.
or reprint it.
Or
Does
reprint
Chuck
it.
want to see it?
Yeah, actually, I would.
I'll go grab it.
I'd love to see 3D printed stuff.
And I love it because Blood Angels.
There you go. For whatever reason, I keep forgetting that she plays Blood Angels, and I don't know why.
Blood Angels and Sisters of Battle.
Speaking
See,
of
this
Blood
is where my-
Angels, we do have more Blood Angels coming. I just remembered that.
Do we?
Yeah, that order that you just got yesterday. Or was it today?
Oh, yeah. But those are old school.
Oh yeah,
Those
they're
are
like
vintage
second
models.
edition pewter. Those will be fun. I think that were second edition. The artwork reminded me of like second, third edition.
Yeah, eventually I need to work on my models.
You and me both. I'm thinking about taking like Fridays and making that like Space Wolf Friday.
I approve.
Because I have boxes upon boxes of Space Wolves that need to be put together. Oh, really? Got you some Legion of the Damned models, huh? Alright, so we'll take this elf out of here and see if I can get him in here. It's a wee bit bigger than a regular elf.
Ooh,
Let me get
nice.
the focus fixed here.
Told you.
There he is. So yeah, that was a fun print.
I love how the 3D prints are so detailed now.
You and me both. Like, GW is, give it like another 5 years, they're gonna have to watch their ass.
Mm-hmm.
It'll turn into, instead of buying models, you'll have to be buying the files. But the problem with that is it'll be just like music back in the day.
Yep.
One person will buy it, it'll hit the internet, it's a free game after that.
Yeah, we were actually talking on a different Discord about that, about how GW has changed with this new CEO from, going after absolutely everybody and
Yeah, especially-
everyone
Go ahead, Chuck,
for
keep going.
IP infringement. Now with 3Ds, it's like 3D printing. It's like, hey, we're okay with you printing stuff so you can mod things, and I think
Give
it's
us
just
credit.
yeah. Well, I'm giving them credit, but I also think sometimes the lawyers are looking at it going, "This is brand new territory. We don't know what we're doing either."
Well, right, because I mean, it's like, I don't know. It's going to be hard to combat it legally. Because I mean, how many people out there mod their models? Customize them, and how you can be able to tell the difference after a certain point, like at game stores. And honestly, how many game stores are really going to actually care? I mean, unless they're actual GW stores, then I could see that
Right.
caring. But like your third party stores and stuff like that, they're just going to be happy that people are there. I mean, they're going to still have to buy paint and brushes and everything else.
And I can still see GW making money off of their miniatures, even after people can print whatever they want. They're still going to make money because their miniatures are getting better. They're getting very good.
And not everyone's gonna go out and buy a 3D printer just to print minis.
Right.
Yeah, 'cause that's a
I'm
whole
one
new
of them.
learning thing. Like, let's be honest, to run a 3D printer and stuff like that, that's learning a whole new skill set to do. I mean, because not only you have to learn the slicer, you have to learn how to run the actual printer itself, and then you have to get all this other
That's
stuff
awesome,
to get
Swift.
that. So, yeah, I mean, I don't see it really going to hamper them too much. It's people like me that GW is going to have to worry about, because I know how to do all that stuff. But I don't want to touch that with GW, because I know how they are. They get a sniff when you do something, they're on you.
Well, not only that, but see, there's a difference between me printing it in the safety, I guess, of my own home, privacy of my own home, and you doing it as a business.
Yeah, me doing it as a business is a completely different story. Like, now, this is the only way I would do it as a business on my side, as long as the dogs are done with their WrestleMania match behind me. Like,
Go down.
customized parts to go to the GW models, I would do that. I don't have a problem with that. But to completely like copy GW's work, I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. But like, let's just say I needed some customized shoulder pads for this specific chapter that GW doesn't make, then I have no problem making them. You know what I'm saying? Because technically, I'm not reselling something that they sell. Because if they did, then I would have to make them.
We're just making an upgrade.
Exactly. And it's like the files I sent you for the Torox. I purchased those from a Kickstarter, and their only request is you can print them or send them somewhere to have them printed, but only you get to use it. You can't use them off of me to make money, essentially.
Yep.
And I'm like, that's cool with me, and I hate the current Torox anyways. So it would, or if I ever bought a GW Torox, it would be the first thing I would push halfway across the table, look at my opponent, and say, "Please blow that up."
So I can't put him out of his misery.
Yeah, exactly. Shoot this. I'll give you free points. Just get it off the table, please.
You know, there's one other model I want that isn't either of my armies, and it's a single model. I want a squig.
Okay.
Everybody wants a squig.
I
So
almost
cute.
called our studio War Squig Studios. I thought about it.
Well,
They,
You
they
know.
talked me out of it.
well, yeah. Well, no, I was
I
just
didn't
thinking.
want to deal with anything if, like, Games Workshop was like, oh, nope.
Yeah.
I mean, can you trademark the name Squig though?
Probably. I mean, that's why a lot of people were talking about they've talked about it in the past, and changing the word Eldari or Eldari or Eldar to Eldari, and Dark Eldar to Drukhari, and even the Primaris Marines as opposed to Space Marines.
Yeah.
And the word Terminator because
That's
the movie
true stuff.
Terminator.
Right.
So it would not surprise me if they haven't already trademarked grots, squigs, everything they can essentially.
Yeah.
And I mean, for them, as a
It-
company,
it
it's
makes
a
sense.
good model.
It
Yeah,
is. It's protecting
It
their
protects
names.
you. Do I think they really need to go to that level to say, oh, it's not a
It is.
dark
It
elf?
is.
It is trademarked.
It is trademarked.
Yeah, I thought so. But actually, to answer your quandary there, Kendall, you could always make a servitor squig for your marine force.
Yes.
Yes.
She's
Do
so
it.
happy.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
Yeah, so
I need it.
I mean, again, it's one of those things where I come up with a lot of silly things because I don't play in tournaments. So, I never have to worry about, oh, that was 3D printed. You can't play it here at the Warhammer store. I don't care because I'm not going to play at the Warhammer store. Have a
Right.
nice day. Just give me my paint or my models
And
or
I'll be
whatever.
on my way.
Yeah, and I'll leave. And again, that's why Dustin and I are the ones that play the most, and then there's another group of 3 or 4 of us that generally play, and we're trying to get a 5th person to play.
That does sound
So-
fun, Swift. Squig Marines.
Ooh,
Squig Marine.
the Squig chapter.
I'm trying to think of some
wait a
witty
minute.
name for it.
Here, I got it for you. It's a dad joke, but I've got it for you.
All
The
right.
Squigmarites.
The Squigmarites. The Squigmarites.
It's the Squigmarite chapter.
Oh
Now
my
imagine an
God.
orc saying that.
Somebody already proposed that. They proposed that there were a group of orcs who, for whatever reason, got turned around and wanted to fight for the Imperium because the Imperium had the best fights. And they knew that they would constantly be getting sent from war zone to war zone to war zone.
I think I actually saw that chapter. It's like all the orcs that are in power armor and stuff
You
like
may
that.
have.
Yeah.
You may have started a very bad thing.
Hey. If it was dreamed up and someone's having fun, it can't be that bad.
Nope.
I mean, like, Jesse's the one that came up with the name for my custom Sisters of Battle army. Like, I couldn't fucking think of it. Like, I knew the colors I
Hello
wanted. He's like,
Kitty
you're obsessed
Marines."
with bees.
Oh man. Let's not make Hello Kitty Marines.
You kind of are with that pink.
Pink.
No, no.
Just
Those are trademarked. They're Pepto Bismol Marines.
I've seen them as well, Swift. I know they exist, and it's an image you will never get rid of.
We
It-
have one currently that I'm doing for my sister. And she even wants me to make, like, a little bow for their company mark.
You know what? That was my response, Chuck. That sigh right there.
I'm sorry.
She'll
the
never
Inqu-
play. She just wants them for herself.
Still, there's got to be someone at the position right now that just their eyes twitching and they don't know why. Their hands twitching near their bolt pistol and they're like, why do I feel this way?
Well, we're gonna go burn a planet later to make myself feel better.
Why do I
Yep.
think I must commit exterminatus?
Yep. Find that chapter's home world. Doesn't even get a chance.
No one leaves.
Oh, Deathcore. Swift Wolf, you and I are friends and we didn't know it.
I think I actually have some Death Corp
Yep.
that I have to put together.
Yep, that should be here in the next week or so.
It's already here.
I know it's here. I'm saying painting wise.
I'm scheduled, yes.
Yes. Shovel charges.
Yep, nope.
That
Next on the
sounds
list is
messy.
Gloomhaven, and then Death Corpse, and then yours, Chuck.
Okay. I am 100% behind the Deathcore being ahead of me.
And then I just actually got a recent order for, what was his name? Torgaron?
Oh,
Yeah.
either a captain or chapter master for.
That's all on Jesse, though. It's a level
Hero
4.
Fist.
So Jesse gets to play with yellow.
Yellow.
He's excited too, I can tell.
Yellow.
That is awesome, Swift Wolf. No one around me plays Deathcore. And no, I'm not going to start them yet. Yet being the key word there.
Yet being the key word.
All right,
Yep,
get it on the list.
I
Kendall.
admit it.
It's coming.
Oh no, that would be like wave 4, so that's probably next year, if anything.
Yeah, you're already
Um,
planning waves for us.
Okay. It's actually not waves, it's phases. And
That's
yeah,
the word.
I do a lot of, I've went from IT being on hand to, hey, our help desk is a complete pile of doo-doo and you need to fix it. So I plan and do a lot more projects and managerial tasks than I ever wanted to. So yeah, I put things into phases now.
Paperwork.
Okay.
Paperwork.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the thing you put off till Sundays when they're due on Monday?
Shh.
Eh.
Boss watches the stream. Shh.
Yeah, I understand, Swift Wolf. But yeah, we have a Wrath and Glory campaign that Dustin actually runs, and my friend Eric is playing a Deathcore of Krieg watch captain, and I'm playing a Skitarii. And so far, the Skitarii has looked at the rest of the group, which includes a Sister of Battle, a Space Wolf, and he's decided that the Deathcore Watchmaster is probably the most logical
looking
person
for?
in the group. So I follow his orders. After this, go ahead.
No, just looking over and I see Jesse looking for something like, what you need? Celestial Gray. And I'm like, I have it again.
Oh.
Still
How
all
many
the
times
paint.
am I on here and I'm like, yep, colors are missing. I wonder where they're at.
Yeah, it's either that comment or paint's on another desk. I'll be back.
Yep, pretty much.
But yeah, after our second game of Wrath and Glory, my Skitarii went out and got a bayonet for his rifle. So next up is a shovel.
It's,
Because
you know what's funny, Chuck? I still have that first squad of Skitarii you sent us.
Yeah, I know. You showed me the one time. You on stream.
Oh yeah, I did, didn't I?
You pulled them out. And you're like, see, they're right here. And I looked at them and I was looking at them and I'm going, and what is wrong with them?
What's wrong with them is my OCD, Chuck.
Oh,
And that's what you said. And I'm like, okay, I can understand that, but
wait. Is this the one that got fucked up?
What? It was
Skitarii?
it was that Skitarii that I originally had Devin do.
And he fucked him up.
I wouldn't say he fucked them up, but he
they were not up to Jesse's standards.
Yes.
And since Jesse is the face and the boss of the company, his word is law.
Yeah,
So
okay.
again, I understand all of it. I really do. And this is when, especially when this was he was first starting out and wanted to really put his best foot forward. And I get all of that. But yeah, when he showed him on, Dustin and I were talking. He showed it, and I'm like, what's wrong with them? And even Dustin's like, they look better than yours. I'm like, shut up.
No,
Like,
I remember what was wrong with them and stuff, and
No,
Grenaders.
I was just being overly OCD and overprotective of making sure, as Chuck said, putting our best foot forward. Because I aim to impress is what I do, especially when you're doing something like this. I want to impress my clients. I want to make sure they get their money's worth. And I want that wow factor, especially for the first models you're getting from us. Because I want you to be like, okay, all right, these guys know what they're doing. They're going to take care of us. I trust these guys.
Which is why I'm terrified for you to get your sisters. I want them to be up to par.
I've calmed down. I've calmed down a bit. I'm not as OCD.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'm still as OCD. Who am I lying to?
So yeah, Swift Wolf. I saw that they nerfed the Grenadiers and the normal soldiers for Deathcore. Yeah, so I am sorry to hear that. I won't lie. My favorite unit in Deathcore, just in the whole model range, I'll put it that way. I won't say my favorite unit, but the ones I like the most are the cavalry. Yeah, okay, so they got big nerf. They got the nerf bat instead of just hosed. But yeah. Hopefully they'll do something better for them if they ever redo the Astra Militarum book. I mean, I'm not ever going to hold out hope, but
Let's say they're probably about due, aren't they?
Right. Let's see if I remember right. It was Drukhari next, possibly a New Sisters because they're bringing out that Piety and Pain box set.
Yeah, they're talking
Talking about the New Sisters box and
Sister Drukhari box.
I
Yeah.
know I want the Sisters box, but I do not have the money.
Yeah.
I need to paint what I have.
All that Indominus box and all these sisters.
Swift, I forgot that they moved the Death Court to the Imperial Armor book. I did. I totally forgot about that. I mean, I don't understand what GW is doing there because it seems like they're getting rid of a lot of different troops. Pushing everybody to the sideline except for the Cadians and the Scions, essentially. Maybe not as bad as they did to the Death Corps, but it seems like everybody's getting pushed away.
Maybe they're getting ready.
Yeah,
to
I don't
bring
really
something
understand
new.
it.
It's my only thought is, clearing the way to, bring in a new poster boy.
Well, I mean, poster boys for the Astra Militarum have always been the Cadians, just like the Ultramarines for the Astartes.
Good old Smurf.
So, yeah, they are. Even Dustin calls them Smurfs, so when he says it, I feel I'm okay to say it.
Hey, I mean, they make fun of my Space Wolves all the time. I can call them Smurfs.
That's how Jesse introduced them to me, and these are the Smurfs.
Yep, they are.
I asked why they were called Smurfs. He said, "You do not question the Smurf."
Yeah, don't question Papa Smurf. He will hit you with the big book of rules.
I love it.
But yeah, and Swift Wolf, that's another reason why I don't play competitive. In our friendly games, legends are allowed. So, like for the sisters, they move the Repressor, which is one of the vehicles. Yeah, Starship Trooper movies. I agree with that too. But they removed the Repressor, and I use it in play anyways. I'm creating one. I'm kit bashing one for my daughter for her army. So, but all of her stuff's in a box right now while I break every other model I seem to have. So, like this week has been a bust for me.
Oh, really?
Well, I glued the drop pod together.
Yeah, that's what you're telling me the other day.
So on the drop pod, if you remember, it has an outer door and then the inner part of the door, which is like the walking platform.
Yeah, the walking platform with like a grate.
Yeah. So I decided I already have one that's painted. It looks decent. It's tabletop. So I'm like, I'm just going to glue this one together. Just going to glue all the doors shut and I can plop it down, do whatever. Well, I'm sitting here, and while I was at work, it was sitting on my desk, and the glue, I had glued it the night before. I'm sitting here, and I'm typing on my keyboard, and all of a sudden I hear, tunk.
Oh, no.
And I'm like looking around, and I'm like, what was that? And it finally takes me like 5 minutes to realize it's the drop pod. The outer door separated from the inner door.
That's weird.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So like the inner door, all the supports, everything is like rock solid except for this one outer door. And it's like, I can only pull it out like an inch to glue it because then I start feeling tension and I don't want to break the rest of it.
Right.
So it's just sitting here right now looking at me with this poor little door out. And I'm like, yeah, I'll get to you at some point this weekend.
But what about me, Chuck?
Yeah. Oh, well, he got in, he's joined by Mr. Invictor because I was working on magnetizing the arm so I could use either weapon option.
Yep.
And completely broke it today.
Ooh,
like broke it to the point where gluing is not going to work well. And I'm just like, okay, I'm done assembling for this week. I'm done painting for this week.
I'm just done with this hobby this week. I don't want to look at it.
Well, no, I mean, I'll look at it and go, yep, you guys suck. You're going to wait. And, other than that, it's like, yeah, I'm just going to hang out on streams and BS with people and not even going to try it. I'm not going to fix anything. I'm not going to build anything.
Hey, the Necron done.
I totally
just
get
gonna
that.
shade him.
Ooh, 2 special weapon dudes with grenadiers. Nice.
What to work on next?
So Legends wasn't allowed in your Crusade game. Ugh. Sorry to hear that. I really am. Like I said, we've already talked about it, and we're going to allow Legends when we start our Crusade game back. Mainly because we just want... Dustin and I are of the opinion, if you have the toy and you want to play with it,
should be able to play with it.
We don't care. Yeah. Just throw it down. We'll we're not going to be too worried about it. So
I'm gonna continue on Fabius.
Fabius Bile. All his biley goodness.
The one that's been driving me insane.
Fabulous Bill.
Like, this is such a mixed box of models.
Yeah, Swift, I feel for you. I really do. I showed up right before we all got the lockdown, and I had a couple of, well, Jesse knows, some of my AdMech are not Games Workshop. And the store I was in, I didn't know that you couldn't use GW or non-GW. And I, drove like an hour to go play, and then it was like, oh, well, you can't use those. But that's all I have for my army. I only brought what I was going to play, which is probably my own stupidity. I probably should have brought everything, but
another way GW tries to make it so you don't use things that they don't make.
Well, it wasn't even a GW store, which is kind of what burned me a little. And because they were advertising, friendly games, you don't have to worry about GW rules. And wait a minute, that's a GW rule.
But here's a GW rule.
I
understand the rule, and I don't understand the rule, because you should be able to play with whatever you want. I got that, but I understand because these
It's hard
games
to
are
regulate
balanced.
something if you don't actually know their stats and everything.
Well, not even that. It's more like all of the, these games are supposedly balanced. You know what I'm saying? With, the rules and everything like that to make it, fair to play.
Right.
And if they didn't watch it, I mean, you could come in with some crazy things that could just wipe out somebody. You know what I'm saying? So I get it, and I don't get it. Like, I think it should be up to the players to decide. I mean, if you're playing against somebody and it's like a non-GW model, as long as, your opponent's okay with it, I don't see what the problem is.
Yeah,
And
that's
again,
exactly
like
it,
with
Swift.
that, like the question comes in, it's like we have a Sanguinus. Forge World sells Sanguinus, but it's not their Sanguinus.
Right.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
don't like
I mean,
proxies.
right. So the original store that I grew up in, really, back in when I first started back in the 90s, it's a comic book store, but it sells GW stuff, and it has a good actual stock of GW stuff, and the owner's a really great guy to get things in if he doesn't have them. They have basically, unless they're doing a tournament, which they will have rules for, you show up and, we joke because we're in Western Pennsylvania and we don't speak proper English. You run what you brung. We don't care if it's 3D printed, don't care if it's Forge World. If you want to throw it down, bring it. Now, again, not for a tourney, but, most Friday nights, just
Yeah, if you're
show up.
a
People are
fun
happy to
game
play.
day.
How I accidentally put Pallid Witch Flesh on my thing, and I meant to put a white. I'm smart.
I mean, Pallid Witch Floss is close to a white.
Not when you're making a potion and you're trying to get up to that bright white. It does not work.
Yeah, Swift. Again, I'm really sorry to hear that. I don't know where you're at, but hey, you could always bring your. Well, we've joked that once Dustin and I have joked that once the Corona lets us free and out of our houses and stuff, we're taking a road trip to Jesse's anyways. So maybe we'll meet there and just bring your stuff and throw down. We don't care what it is. So
Should I be
okay, that's a really
I mean-
long trip for you, Swift.
It would
I
be
didn't
in the
realize you were in the
studio,
Netherlands.
and my studio does come equipped with a bar, so.
Well, maybe we could crowdfund you a ticket, Swift. a GoFundMe page so you can go gaming and get a round trip ticket.
So we're gonna have to
I
crowdfund a
can just
table
walk
too.
upstairs and go the fuck to sleep.
That's like one of my wall of shame things right now is I do not have a gaming table here. I wish I did. You'd think with all the nerds I
Dude.
have in this house, I would have a gaming table. But the thing is like I keep planning on building one. I keep planning on building one, but then I keep painting models, but nowhere to play them but my kitchen table. That's not big enough.
And not flat enough.
Do you have a couple of sawhorses?
We have a flat end table. It's all slate, so it's all uneven.
That's it. I'm buying a gaming table at the business's expense. Hey,
I mean,
can
if you
write
did
it
hold
off. I can just
tournaments and
start
stream them,
streaming
it
the
would be a
games.
business expense. Yeah. All right. So, wow,
Well,
I
I-
do not have a lot of space to do this color transition.
Welcome to my world.
Well, Swift, I'm not going to guarantee we'll get anything done, but hey, I am all up for trying. I didn't make it to 51 because I said no or because I gave up. So, I mean, heck, even if we could get you as far as Pennsylvania, you can hop a ride with Dustin and I.
Pennsyltucky.
That's right. Proud of it. Hey, I joke, but it's true. I grew up in the country. My closest neighbor was 200 yards away from me. And literally surrounding my family's entire 13 acres of land was nothing but farms.
Oh,
and my family used to go up to Mount Hope Winery
Mm-hmm.
for the big Renaissance fair up there in full garb.
So yeah,
My mother would always tell people we're visiting Pennsylvania.
always. I mean, hey, I joke. It's like, hey, I'm an old fat farm boy. It's what I tell my that's actually one of my coworkers and I tell our boss all the time. It's like, we're old fat farm boys. We will find a way to get it done. You tell us what needs done, we'll figure the rest out.
You would
Which is
fit
why my
in
boss loved me.
just fine around here.
Oh my god, my mother's reaction her first visit out here. So, when I moved out to Illinois, my mom was like, okay, so you're in a small town and everything. And I'm like, yeah, it's tiny. And then my dad flies home. We drove my car out here and he flies home. He's like, it's not just small, it's non existent. And my mom didn't believe him. And she finally got up the courage and got on a plane. And then she drove into town and there's a little sign that said population 200. In
What?
the original town we lived in. My mom's like, excuse me?
Population is not 200 here.
Pearl City?
Is not 200.
It was 200.
Maybe like 100 years ago.
That's what it said when we drove in.
Well, you know,
It's more
they
like
just
maybe
forgot to update the sign.
2000. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I live, you know, while I was out in the country, I was only 2 miles from the closest town. It only had about 600 people in it. Our biggest claim to fame was when we got a Sheetz convenience / gas store.
Sorry.
That was the biggest thing.
138 people.
oh, I've been corrected. That's toxic.
It was tiny from where I'm from.
Well,
And my
yeah.
mom was just like, you are...
In the middle of nowhere.
What? Yeah. Mom's like, you really want to be out here? Yes. I hate this city. I want to be close enough to civilization I can go to a store, but far enough away where people leave me the hell alone.
I want to be someplace where it's quiet and I can see the stars.
Couldn't sleep my first nights out here because it was so quiet. I'm so used to city noises.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good lord.
I had a friend, lost touch with her now, but her name was Kathy, and she was originally from Buffalo. Her first time visiting us, she couldn't take it because there was literally no buildings around. It was nothing but fields.
Mhm. I flew into Chicago, and the drive to his original house, it was mostly cornfields.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, is there nothing?
Well,
Yeah, there's quiet. That's what there was.
there-
There's
there- there's corn.
There's-
There's a lot of corn.
My mother visited in the winter, and she took a picture, and she's like, look, the field in which I grow 9 fucks. No, it is barren.
I like that. That's good.
She had an empty field. She went with it.
Yep. Oh, that is adapting.
It's just she doesn't want to live out here.
I'm fine with it.
She's even madder. My little sister is now talking about it. Like, it's a possibility to move out to Illinois. And she's like, no.
But why? I can get her job.
Houses are cheaper. I mean, frick, first year I'm out here, we buy a house. My sister's like, what?
Yeah, it's I've had some people that you know, they're like, oh well, I took a pay cut to come work for the government. I'm like, okay. And then, you know, a month later they come back and they're like, wow, now I know why I got a pay cut. Your houses are like half of where I came from.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't need as much money out here. You do have to watch for the deer and the
Mortgage?
cattle.
Oh God.
Our mortgage is cheaper than rent back home.
Mm-hmm.
And I told my sister that. She's like, "Excuse me?" I'm like, "Yeah, you can rent a apartment, almost a house out here for $500." And she almost fell over. A studio apartment in the town I used to live in is $1,300 for a studio.
Yep. Occasionally, I have to go to DC to visit the big boss, and the first time I went to DC, first of all, I was older, but I still don't like cities. It's just me. I don't like them. They put me up in a hotel that was a block away from our building, and somebody else, of course, paid for it since I didn't have a travel card at the time. When I looked down, I looked at the guy at the hotel. I'm like, he's like, "Is there a problem?" I'm like, "This is more." I says, "I stayed one night." He goes, "Yeah." Like, this is more than my mortgage for a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, "Well, welcome to DC." I'm like, you can keep it.
Yeah.
I'm going home today. See you, bye.
Yeah.
My dad noted that too. Like when they flew out, he's like, "It's cheaper to fly there than it is to fly back."
Mm-hmm.
And they got a hotel. It was like $50 a night.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Yeah, and it's a good hotel."
Yeah.
And they stayed there, and they're like, what?" Like,
This is why I
Yeah.
like cornfield land.
cornfield land.
Exactly.
Yeah, my mother did not understand it, and then yeah.
Yeah, because like at the same time, it's like, yeah, it costs all that much money out there. It's like if I lived out there doing what I was doing, it's like either they'd have to pay me double, which is going to be hard to do, but I wouldn't be able to do half the stuff because I'd be broke all the time. So yeah, I mean, I'd be living closer to a city that has all these things, but I wouldn't be able to go enjoy them because I wouldn't have any money.
Yep.
So I'd rather stay out here in, like I said, cornfield land and keep my money and use it for traveling. I can go visit, but I ain't staying.
Which reminds me, we still need to start saving up for that wedding
Someday.
someday.
Okay, I will not get into the middle of that argument because when we got married, I think my entire wedding, dress included for my wife, because she budgeted all of it, was either just slightly over or just slightly under $2,000. That was everything.
Sounds like my first wedding. That
I
was more
mean,
like
we rented
$7,000.
yeah.
Make it to my wedding. Thank God.
But yeah, so
But no, my sister's engaged.
Mm.
And she wants to get married out in Connecticut. I'm like, it's so expensive.
yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
they're trying to figure it out because her boyfriend's in Maryland. She's in Connecticut. There's not like a really good like midpoint. So it's like, do we just have two separate weddings, or do they fly up, or do we go down? I'm trying to convince them to stay up because then I can take a train and sleep.
Just sounds cornfield land. We got plenty of room. I kid. Chuck, if I die, you know why.
Kill you.
I'm gonna tell you the same thing. Always, my wife and I always joke because we got married later in life, and I told my friends this, and my friends did not. To the last friend, none of them batted an eye. I said, "Look, the first 5 years of marriage is normally the roughest. That's what I've been told. That's what I've seen with my brother. But then again, my brother's kind of an idiot. So I says, but as in the first 5 years of marriage, as if I go and I just disappear, and you notice that there's a new hole in the backyard, smile, ask my wife if you can have my toys, but never question, because the answer to your question is I have done something so incredibly stupid that I win a Darwin Award. And all of my friends looked at me and went, okay, never batted an eye. And now after, oh God, this will be 16 years in October. I'm pretty safe. I still do some really stupid things, but I think at this point she just realizes it's too much effort to bury my fat butt. So
That's
at least that's what I'm hoping.
That's why we eat so much food. Makes us harder to bury.
That's right.
You say that, but I'm the one that feeds you.
Well, Chuck, it's nice knowing you,
But
buddy.
well, you know, I'll put it this way: you'll never taste it coming, Jesse.
That's true.
It'll taste really good to you, and that's actually kind of nice because you'll just go to sleep and never wake up.
Depending on how much I pissed her off.
Yeah. I mean, I've always joked that, you know, I'm going to wake up in the middle of the night with a sharp stabbing pain in my chest, and it's going to be a butcher knife shoved into it by my wife because I pushed the limits. But, you know. Did I ever send you the pictures I took when I actually had all of my AdMech army out?
I don't think you did.
No.
Okay.
I can 100% tell you no, because Jesse would have shown that to me, and I've never seen it.
Okay. I'll send the pictures I took. It'll either come in an email or a link to my Google Drive will come so you can look at them. During the whole pandemic, I was really getting an itch because I was building stuff, and I had just decided for whatever stupid reason to start a Space Marine army because, you know, having Space Wolves and AdMech and Imperial Knights and a Scion army still in boxes was not enough, so I needed another one because I'm an idiot. I've mentioned this, right?
Oh, don't feel bad, because when I finish my Space Wolves here, I gotta turn around and then I have Dark Angels to do. It's like,
are they
why?
for you?
Oh yeah, they're definitely for me.
From the Indominus box.
Yeah, because I was sitting there looking, I was like, I have an Indominus box, I want to build it and everything like that. They're not very wolfy. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, they're not.
I was like, I could see them as Dark Angels.
Dark Angels.
And Kendall already plays Blood Angels, so I don't need Blood Angels in the house. I'm already going to have Blood Angels in the house. So I was like, all right, well, Dark Angels it is.
Yeah, and honestly, if you're going to play 2 Marine chapters, pick opposites. You know, because that's what I was thinking whenever I was considering. Pardon my daughter bellowing in the background. Hold on a sec.
Brother doing Dark Angels? Or is he doing another one?
Devin?
Yeah.
He's doing Blood Ravens.
Ah.
Sorry about that. But anyways, so I was thinking about it, and I'm like, you know, I really want to play another chapter, and I considered Raven Guard because I'm like, well, they're sneaky, but I'm like, they're kind of up close, and I'm like, if I'm gonna do up close and kind of sneaky, I'll just play my wolves.
Right, exactly.
Which is kind of what led me more towards, and talking to Dustin, we figured it out, especially since I had Mechanicus, you know, leaned more towards the Iron Hands, and, you know, more vehicles, more gun lines,
right,
et cetera, et cetera. So
I'll take good care of them.
Oh, I have no doubt you will. And oh yeah, and I forgot my Grey Knights too. I have way too many battle foam boxes with stuff in them.
It's okay. I have a feeling they're slowly making their way here.
Well, only some of the Grey Knights, because a lot of them I pick. My Grey. When I got back into 40K itself, because in 2018 I decided I'm going to do Kill Team. And I'm like, oh, I can do whatever I want for Kill Team. I can have 14 different chapters, or whatever, because, you know, they're small teams.
Right.
And that lasted until I talked to Dustin for one night for about 4 hours.
And that was over.
And yeah, so I went back to the comic book place the one time, and I'm like, yeah, I'm here to buy some stuff. And some of the guys were there playing, and they're like, hey, well, a couple of them recognized me from like when they were 12 at the time. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, hey guys, how you doing? They're like, we recognize you. We remember you. We talked and we chit chatted. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get back into 40K and I want to get some stuff and blah, blah, blah. And at that point, Gray Knights were crap. Nobody
Yeah.
liked them. The rules sucked. And he looked at me and says, he looked at me and says, do you want my Gray Knights? You can have them. And I'm like, really? Like, you don't have to, dude. I'm going to buy stuff. He goes, nah. He says, you know what? He says he wanted one of the bigger Knights, the Castellans, I think it's called.
Yeah.
And he goes, you buy me the Castellan. He says, you can have, my everything I have.
Okay.
Sure. And another kid remembered I played wolves, so he gave me a few wolves for my kill team, which they are now part of my army. And so yeah, I mean, a lot of the Grey Knight stuff is painted. It's not painted well, but meh, I don't care. It's got paint on it. That's all I care about. It's not tabletop anymore. Is it battle ready? Yes. Okay. Throw it on the board. I have 2 units of, I have 2 units of Terminators right now. One will eventually get sent to you. A lot of the stuff I got painted already off of eBay or painted from this kid because I'm like, well, I have 1 Dread Knight. 2's got to be better. And again,
2's
because it was
better.
Exactly, 2's better than 1. And again, because it was pre-COVID, and because Grey Knight stunk, they were going for dirt cheap on eBay. So yeah, like I said, I forget about them because they're mostly painted and kind of just stuck in a box right now.
I'm just waiting until Jesse has the time for a big bad. He finally pulls out that knight.
Yeah, I've been saving that for a rainy day.
Ooh, what kind of knight?
Something Rex.
Canis Rex.
Yeah, I got it in
now
a commission trade. So brand new in the box, not even out of the box yet. But
I still need to go eventually and go get my models.
I wanted to do like the whole crazy free-handed shoulders, and stuff like that, and all that craziness that a lot of these artists do. And I just haven't got there for that yet. So I wanted that to be like one of my showpieces, one of them.
Which reminds me, before I forget, where is that one model for Chuck?
Which one?
Is it over here? Iron Father?
Yeah, it should be in the collection over there. Pharaohs? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yes.
Senor. I found him.
I should probably put him in his pile.
Which is why I just thought about it. Oh, I forgot I had a
Now,
Hospitaller.
Did Dustin tell you what he bought you?
Bought as in bought to have you paint, or what he bought off of you?
He bought off of me.
He gave me a partial list. All I know is it was a lot of Death Guard.
No, he bought a lot of Death Guard for himself, but he bought one model specifically for you.
Oh, would this be the Gravis Captain?
Yep.
Okay. Yes, he did. No, actually, I was guessing, and you walked right into my trap. No.
Where did I put his models?
Don't say
Are they
things.
still upstairs?
Don't say things like that.
They're still upstairs on my desk.
You should probably go get those and label them.
See.
Yeah, Kendall, where did you put my models? I'm kind of curious now.
They're on my desk upstairs. Sorry, I'm all over the place.
Chuck, I have so many models staring at me, it's ridiculous.
Oh, I know.
I can't turn my head without seeing a piece of model.
They are up here with
to my left is
potato heads.
Probably another 15 of these elves that I'm painting right now on the stream. 10 Eldar. Morty pointing his gun at me all malicious like. And then I got a wall of space wolves in front of me.
Yeah, they were still upstairs with a box of decapitated heads.
Box of for the Walking Dead heads.
Yes.
You know, there are just sometimes I don't ask questions.
No, we have a client that makes take action figures of like characters from like the Walking Dead series.
Mhm.
And it's it's got like Rick and Clementine from the Telltale series for the Walking Dead.
Mhm.
Characters like that, and it's mostly just 3D printed heads that he has me paint, and then he attaches them to their bodies and puts clothes and stuff on them, and then either he keeps them or he sells them. I think he sells them, possibly because he's had me do like 4 or 5 of the same ones at this point. So either he
Right.
really wants a lot of that one for his own collection, or he's selling them.
I also like the note you left us. Totally not Iron Father Farios.
Well, there's going to be 2 boxes of them, so I needed to differentiate between the two.
Also, with the Iron Father Farios, that vent upside down.
I'm sorry, the what upside down?
The
For
backpack vent, you have one of them sticking straight up in the air.
yeah, I pulled them out, and the
Yeah.
one that you like edited
Yes.
and took the part off, just the vent sticking straight up. I started dying laughing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my
Uh,
god.
Well, I for that one, since I'm using him as a second tech marine, I didn't want him to have that little crane boom up over his head.
Yeah, that
So
makes
I'm
sense.
like, how do I differentiate this? And I'm like, okay, well, I figured out where you attach, and where he attaches is normally on a marine is where the vent is for their backpack. And I happen to have a vent left over from some Skatari model, or some AdMech model, I should say. So yeah, I just stuck it on there and went, okay, there we go, all done. And they're
It
also
just
there's
made me laugh because it was upside down. I
well,
was like, huh,
I mean, it
know.
works. Don't get me wrong.
it works.
yeah,
Just caught me off
I-
guard.
It's a smokestack now, right?
yeah, exactly.
He's diesel
Well,
powered.
unfortunately, because of the way the model is, I really didn't want to take the time to mod it completely. I won't lie. And I looked at it and went, that is an almost exactly flat surface, and this is an exactly flat piece. So I stuck it on there and went, hey, you know what? That works.
Done and done.
Yeah, it's like, sometimes simple is good.
Yeah.
And yeah, I do remember what you're talking about now. And yeah, I looked at it and went, it's kind of a smokestack instead of being vented down. But I'm like, yeah, he's a tech priest. Who cares? It's not
they
like
do things
they're-
like that.
Yeah, it's not like they're not going to see them coming a mile away, like with the
Right.
extra tendrils and everything else. So, yeah. And I believe there should have been a Primaris helmet in there too, somewhere, Kendall. So,
Yeah, it was in the box, but if I misplace it, I have plenty to find.
okay. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I know Iron Father Pharaohs only comes with the half human, half cyborg head, and that's fine. I don't care about that. But I try the rest of my models to use helmets because I have always thought it's stupid that, Terminator sergeants and sergeants in general walk around without a helmet.
Yeah.
Especially
hey.
Terminators.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like,
just
hey,
to give you an idea, like any of the sprues that we don't clip everything off, we keep for, like, say, someone wants something, but they don't have it. We might
Right.
have it. So, like, I have all of these Primaris heads left over from, like, the boxes and all that.
okay.
I mean,
Yeah,
they need to be clipped off of sprues, but I have them.
that's fine. I don't trust me. I have enough marine bits. I don't need more back, really.
Yeah. Most people, it's like, okay, build my model, just send me the model back.
Yeah, it's. I'll let Jesse keep the bits. he can increase his bit
Jesse
box.
keeping my bits.
Oh,
My precious.
drawers and drawers of bits.
Oh no, like it's overflowing right now. I actually have to go probably one of the weekends that I have free and just sit here and clip them all and get them into their little baggies. Because I get them all clipped, put them in little Ziploc bags, depending on what they are.
Hmm. It's generally what I do is I'll have a box, something comes in that I buy. Because I only buy from like 3 places now, really.
Mhm.
One is my local store.
Welcome back, Swift.
Hey, Swift. One is the local store, the comic store. Another one is
Fair enough.
from Sword and Steel in Canada.
Hmm.
And I like Naomi Steele's videos. I've been a patron of hers for a while. And when all of the Corona stuff happened, they shut everything down and she wasn't sure how she was going to make money. So I started buying stuff off of her. And stupidly enough, I can get stuff from Canada from her quicker than I can from like across the state now.
It's stupid.
And then normally you guys, when I need something and Jesse says, hey, I happen to have, okay, I'll take one of those.
I know. I still have to replace my sisters.
That's fine.
Sorry.
I actually don't mind because basically the payment will just go to me buying the new box.
Yeah,
Right.
just
So, I
basically,
don't
when we go
mind.
to the game store next, just pick up another box of them.
Yeah. It's just we haven't been over to our local game store.
Fair enough. But yeah, I will have a box sitting around, an empty box, and as I'm building stuff, when I'm done with the sprue, when I'm done with the build, I'll just toss the sprues into the box. When the box gets full, then I sit down, clip everything out, throw them in my bits drawer, and save them for a rainy day. But
Like you
yeah.
offered to send me these Blood Angels ones, and I almost cried because we don't like get a lot of those. So it's like I don't have a lot of Blood Angels parts.
Well, I was going to buy either the Dark Angels Combat Patrol box or
Mhm.
the Blood Angels Combat Patrol box because the one I wanted the Redemptor Dreadnought because right now you
Redemptor.
can't find the Redemptor Dreadnought for love, money, or gold.
Yeah, what's up with that?
We just got a 5-star review on Etsy.
Yeah,
Oh, for what?
good. Congratulations.
Movement trace.
Oh, sweet. I forgot I even make those sometimes.
So, but yeah, looking at the 2 boxes, I'm like, let's see. Dark Angels basically has the Redemptor and then troops.
Mhm.
Whereas the Blood Angel one had the tank, the Impulsor. Had an Impulsor, 3 of those aggressors, which I didn't have any at the time, and then 10 troops. I'm like, sure, I'm good with that. And I'm like, I was talking to Dustin. I'm like, what am I going to do with the Blood Angel sprues? He's like, just eBay them.
Yeah?
And then when Jesse's like, oh yeah, you know, she plays Blood Angels. I'm like, okay, I know where those are going.
And gone.
Yeah,
Greatly
'cause-
appreciate them because not all the shoulder pads are even on my Indominus box because they're all just blank. So some of them, like, you have to actually put the shoulder pads on. So I can
Right.
actually make them official Blood Angels without having
Right.
to use a sticker.
yeah, exactly. And I mean,
You're not kidding.
Dustin
Swift.
and I, Dustin and I, it's just we do this all the time. Like, hey, Dustin, you know, I was at a store. I was at the Warhammer store the one time. Like, what do you need? Do you need anything while I'm here? Well, I need this. Okay, so I showed up, picked him up. I think it was Blightlord Terminators. So I got him a box, said here, and he's like, "Oh, thanks. You know how much do I owe you?" I'm like, "Just get me something at some point," which is where the Gravis Captain came in because I don't have one
Ah.
of those, and I just think the model looks cool.
You know, I sit there, I
you know,
sold that to him and stuff like that. My little brother was sitting there talking to me last night. He's like, you shouldn't have done that. I'm like, why? He's like,
Oh wow, yeah,
people
definitely.
are selling that model for a lot of money. I'm like, well, it's going to Chuck. That's too bad. It's going to him.
Yeah,
I-
and go ahead.
I could totally understand where that would come in. especially with a landscaper's eye. Just answering Swift.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That would. But Swift, is Forge World getting any better though? I mean, do
I
they? I
I've
mean,
done some Forge World models of late, and they were actually pretty good. Now, I say that with a grain of salt, of course.
We may be getting more in, honey.
I know.
And they're massive.
Oh, you talking
We
about
had an
those
inquiry.
Dark Eldar ships?
Yes.
Huh?
We had an inquiry for a bunch of Dark Eldar ships from Forge World.
I forgot
Ooh.
what they were. They were like it was like
Yeah.
120 millimeter, 100 something like that base side ovals. Like they're massive ships. But it'll be a lot of fun, you know. Where I have to put my webcam here to the ceiling just so you can see everything.
hey, I'll be right back. I
Alright.
have dog text to deal with for like 5 minutes. So, but I'll be back.
All right.
Your death corpse. Ooh, that's not good.
That doesn't surprise me, Swift. I mean, resin and anything that's related to GW, it's what you're
That
gonna
just
get.
makes me more iffy to even get you that model.
Oh no, you can give me that model. That just means I have to do more cleanup work on them. Because I want my Lehman Russ. It's really the only one I want from Forge World, just because I'm a Space Wolves player and he's my favorite Primarch. I'd take Lionel Johnson too. That was a fun model to paint. It was not fun to put together, but it was fun to paint.
You already know I've agreed to get it for you for your birthday. I just don't know what the hell your brother's getting you yet.
Yeah? Nice, Swift. Because I still I want Lehman Russ for my collection, take Lionel Johnson for my collection, and I want Logan Grimnar before they go out of print. Yeah.
Wondering why my headset's falling off of my head when I lean forward. I forgot there's cat ears on my headset.
Yeah, that'd do that, wouldn't it? It's like, Swift, I don't know if you've been keeping track of our streams. Did you see the Morty that I'm working on? Alright, 2 seconds. He's staring at me anyways. Bring over this bad boy for you. Gently. Alright, I'm going to pull way up for this one. He's a big boy. Alright, where's my focus? So that's Morty I'm working on here so far. So that was one Saturday of work so far.
Yeah, the customer wanted it in the old school Death Guard.
Yeah, the 30K scheme. So he's been a lot of fun. He'll be our,
You know,
our Saturday.
technically,
activities.
30K would be more understandable than the 40K, technically, right?
I didn't hear a word you
Death
just
Guard?
said. What did you say?
For Death Guard, wouldn't it be more accurate to be in 30K armor and color scheme?
Death Guard?
Or yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's a couple of things to explain the difference between that. Like, to me, I think Death Guard fit more in their 30K scheme than their 40K. And my logic behind that is this, basically. It's Death Guard, you know, when they became Chaos Death Guard, they were actually basically locked in their armor, and they're all covered in this black. A lot of them don't have fingers anymore. I mean, when did they decide to go get a paint job? And why
That's what
would
I
they
was
really
thinking.
care? Because, once they get blessed by Nurgle, they don't even see the world the same anymore. So, I mean, unless Nurgle's the one's like, nah, I want them green, so he changed their colors. That's the only way I can see them actually being green. But for them to actually personally choose their color, I really don't think they care. So, to me, the 30k white and, white and green makes way more sense to me than the green and gold from a lore
Okay,
standpoint.
so I'm not insane. Yes.
He's the happy,
Well,
Nurgly
plague chaos.
plague, yeah, but he's always happy. Yeah, they're the ones that have like little Nurglings running around playing, lutes and bells and stuff like that.
Welcome back. Yeah, their 30k always made more sense to me than their 40k. Actually, for all of them, their 30. If they're chaos, their 30k makes more sense than their 40.
Yep, that's right. Use flames to get rid of those. There's only one way to get rid of that. Bolter's not gonna do it. I'm surprised they haven't, honestly, because I mean those are some cool models.
I have no idea what those are.
Legion of the Damned, they look like black space marines. They have like flame encrusted armor. Lore wise, they're basically like ghosts, almost in a sense. They come in and come out of the battlefields out of nowhere. A lot of times they're only seen in dire situations. They're almost like the ghosts from Lord of the Rings.
No? Okay. Okay.
Oh yeah, lots of skulls. Yep. Skulls and flames.
I think I heard about them. Like, as soon as you said skulls, flames, and Will to the Emperor, I think I heard about that from Wes Hammer on TikTok.
Yeah, like they literally, like as he put it, they look like they should be chaos, but they're loyal.
I think I know what you're talking about. That, like, their story is like they were in just the warp, like, transport too long or something, and they just got twisted or something. But, like, they're still a loyalist.
That's so many stories right there. That could go towards so many things.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, whatever.
Good old, Jellerfield's fail.
That's what I thought. Okay.
That's why the Death Guard became the Death Guard. Good old Typhus.
At least they're happy.
Yeah. That was basically what they were basically tortured and mutilated from the inside from the warp and stuff like that. And the only way that the Chaos would let them go is if they joined them and submitted. Which was Typhus's plan all along.
See, this bitch is still learning war.
Oh yeah, long way to go. 40k lore is a never-ending cycle.
Yeah.
Read the books.
Which books? There's like hundreds of thousands of them.
All of them. The Horus Heresy.
They're still adding to the Horus Heresy too.
Yeah, apparently they just got to a big thing in the Horus Heresy that was like blowing people's minds.
Yep. It's okay. You only need 200 of them. Because like I said, they're like ghosts. They don't die. As far as I'm aware of, at least.
Are they the ones that randomly show up and then disappear?
Yep.
Like, when they're desperately in need, they show up, decimate, and then just poof, gone.
Yep. Pretty much. That's why you can like use them as like attachments, I think. You'd have to refer to Chuck and them for that because I don't really get to play tabletop that much.
See, I retain some information even though I'm a blonde, but
I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
I ain't touching it.
Not with a 20-foot pole.
Nope.
oh come on, you know I'm a dumb blonde.
I'm not touching it with a 20-foot pole.
And actually, I can honestly say I do not know that. So,
Oh yeah, I've never been on camera.
well,
Yeah.
I've seen you sneak by occasionally, but you know, being blonde and acting blonde are two separate things. Trust me. Because some of my friends are blonde and all of my friends work in IT and
Yeah.
they're very smart.
Yep.
And
There's
I
a lot
have
that can help.
people whose hair betrays them and says, no, we're actually a brunette, and they act blonde. So, like I said, it's two different things.
Mhm. Well, not to mention nowadays with everybody that dyes their hairs. I mean, can you?
Well, yeah.
As you say that, as I dye my hair red.
30-foot pole
Like-
might still be too short, Swift. Yep, that's Kendall. That's the other person talking in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, hey,
it's me.
Pestilence. How you doing?
It would be Avery and chat, but I'm Kendall, the other. I'm getting echo. Kendall, the
You're
other
standing right
artist.
next to me. I mean, that there is a live mic right there. Doing pretty good. You know, I've just been playing with this elf. We're taking a kind of a chill day approach.
No, hopefully eventually you guys will actually see me in streams throughout the day.
Well, she's working up the courage and the confidence to jump on stream, and I keep telling her she'd be fine, but you know, in your due time. I kind of just
You'll
wanna
be
push her-
fine.
I kind of just want to push her in the pool, but I can't do that.
Hey, everything in its own time when she's comfortable, and there will be people like here that will be nice and help her along and growl at people who aren't being nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be definitely weird too because I'll be streaming earlier than most of you guys will be on.
Well, right now I work from home, and I have my work laptop connected to one of my spare monitors, and I have my desktop connected to my other monitor. So
So Chuck
I
could hang
have
out with
both
you.
going. Yeah, I mean, trust me that I was told to go to a training meeting today, and I looked through the manual, and it took me about 5 minutes to go, okay, I know how to do this. Why do I need training? So
Exactly.
the training got muted because I knew the person giving the training, and I just told them, don't ask me any questions.
I'm not listening to you. I already got
I
this
am
figured
not
out.
paying
What?
attention. I read the book.
Are you talking
read-
about Heavy Gear Blitz?
I know those are coming up. We have been kind of running a little bit behind on our models and our schedules. We're still trying to get used to Kendall being home and, you know, not home, in the studio for 8 hours and trying to catch up a little bit on our backlogs. But yes, they should be right around the corner.
They're on my schedule to start soon. It's just this current order is taking me a little bit longer than we thought.
Yeah, the order she's working on right now just happens to be a bunch of, like, it was like 8 characters, you know, highly detailed characters, all different colors and everything.
Email for the 11th. What?
The email I probably sent him. Oh, and just to let you know, I don't know if you've seen our Facebook lately or not. The people that manage our websites broke our website and our domain. So if you try emailing us at minifreakstudios.com, we will not get them until next month. If you want to email to get a hold of us, just switch the .com to .net, and that way it'll get through. Because I had to basically put in a workaround because they lost my domain. yeah, I wasn't exactly happy about that. I mean, it's not my marketing team's fault, but it did slip through the cracks when the website was initially being designed. And since a domain name is registered for 365 days, I didn't even think about it. And it just happened to expire on Monday. And at that point, I didn't even have my account anymore for the old website and stuff like that. So I couldn't even get in to be like, hey, and transfer it myself. So I got basically completely locked out. So I have to wait for them to release it, which is a 30-day process because there's a redemption period on domains. So that's kind of screwed up our communications here a little bit. But that's why we're trying to let everybody know if you need to get a hold of us, all you have to do is switch our emails to .net. They'll come to us. You can hit us up on Facebook. You can find me here on stream. And I'm really sorry about any miscommunication because unfortunately there's not much I can do about to get my .com back at the moment. But I want you guys to know that, you know, we're still here. We're still trying to get you taken care of and kind of just working through the motions of it.
What you think so far?
Well, let's see what we got here. I think his head's very white.
We've talked about this, yes.
I mean, I'd say it looks pretty good so far.
Oh god, his face doesn't even show up on stream.
Yeah, the white balance needs to be adjusted a little bit. Like, that's why I get a better camera for our streams because the white balances is so rough.
Yeah, we also got the neon ink, the fluorescent pink ink for her
Yep,
as
the hot
well.
pink, yep. No joke.
I'm going by the colors that they told us. I'm still learning faces.
Oh,
So,
hey. Hey. I found him. There he is. He
Hey.
looks a lot better. No, I say it looks pretty good so far.
awesome. I know there's some like brass I still need to do and that kind of stuff. They'll need your help with the faces. That's supposed to be flesh in the back. I've never painted that pinky flesh before.
It's alright. I can show you how to do that.
But things like that, like I'm still learning.
That's what I'm here
Like,
for.
unlike Jesse, who's been doing this a lot more than I have, like I took breaks before I started doing this. And there was times where I would get overloaded and everything because I would have my normal job, housework, and then doing this on top of it. But now that it's my full-time job, I can actually put in the time to learn for you guys.
And let Chuck make fun of us.
And let Chuck make fun of me.
No. I only make fun of Jesse.
I'm
Let's-
good with it.
Let's establish this right now. Granted, I am equal opportunity, so at some point you may get some snark from me, but right now, you know, I'll send it to Jesse.
It's fine. I can take it.
That's
no,
why
yeah.
I'm sending it to you.
Your heavy blitz is scheduled to begin soon, especially since they're pretty small models. I should have no problem with them getting those out for you. So I just need to finish up this order that's taking me longer than I thought it would. Because I only have three.
2 armies for Blitz. Is that what you're talking about? Pestilence. Yeah, that's right. Because you had a lot more, if I remember right.
The Tron colors.
Tron, like movie Tron.
No, it shot me back to that inquiry we got recently.
Oh, with that towel.
Yeah.
It's all right. Tron colors schemes are pretty cool.
I can't wait.
Honestly, I can't wait. I want to see a heavy Blitz army painted.
See, I didn't even know
always
what
thought the
Heavy
minis
Blitz
were cool.
was. I feel so out of the loop in the mini world all of a sudden.
Gotten so many inquiries for things
But I
I've
love
never
it,
even
though.
heard of.
But I love it. You guys are opening my horizons here.
Maybe, because I want to start getting more pictures onto our Facebook and stuff. As I work on the Heavy Gear Blitz, I'll start taking pictures and getting those up.
We should be doing that anyways. We gotta update our
We
galleries.
should be doing that. Me.
Mirror, mirror, mirror.
Me. Leave me alone. I'm shy. When I don't have to, when I don't have to show my face, I'll talk as much as you want. The moment I gotta show my face, beep.
It's okay. It's not that bad. I was just as bad when I started streaming. I was like, God, I gotta sit here and talk
can't
about
picture
everything.
that.
I kind of went into work mode. I mean, you do IT. You know, you kind of just put on your customer service face, and then you just go to town. I kind of just readapted to that.
But as you've seen, since Deb is black, white, Tron, I'll be doing Clue colors. Oh, I look forward to it.
Yeah, that should be fun. Yeah, the fun thing is, like, we got Kendall on full board now, and then the next stop would be the other part of the trio, which is my brother. Because I and my brother are still working basically full-time jobs. I
And now you
wanted to
guys
go
are my
first,
priority.
but I made too much money to go first.
Okay. How big are they compared to the Cadian heads? I don't know.
The skulls in the GW skulls kit. I have the skulls kit.
I thought it was a mix of skulls. Like it
It is.
had human skulls, Tau skulls, orc skulls,
And a couple demon
one
skulls.
or two. Yeah, one or two like larger skulls.
We have that?
Yeah. It should be over there in the basing stuff. It should be over there in the basing.
What did he want it compared to?
No, the skulls, the GW skulls, how big they are compared to Cadian heads. So just regular human heads? Is that what you mean by Cadian heads?
I'm gonna say yes, since he says specifically the human skulls.
Agreed, Chuck. Agreed. Yeah, it should be a white box over there with the basing
Move,
stuff.
puppies.
I haven't even had to use it yet. I take that back. No, I did it. I used it on the second call I did. So not your call, Chuck. The second call I did.
A lot of calls. You
Not
said
as
it's
many
in
as
a white
Robotos.
box?
Yeah, it should be in a white box that has a bunch of skulls on it.
Uh-oh. Cheese it. Dustin just joined.
Oh, Dustin just joined.
Hello. Meat pop. What?
What's up, Dustin? How you doing, man?
Oh, there's all of my resin dye.
You're not even a fully functioning meat popsicle either, Dustin.
Your manual is sitting on my desk. I have looked through it a little bit. Not as much as I've wanted to yet, but I have skimmed through it. Just because I was curious.
I cannot find the skulls.
Well, usually when she can't find something, it's in my desk.
I found a giant marine.
You leave Bob alone.
That's not even yours.
I'll be back. Let me go find these skulls quick.
I'm gonna say, hey Dustin, do you have a skull pack from GW? Yeah, literally a box or pack of skulls.
He took them out of the
Box.
box. That's why I couldn't find it.
You're gonna have to train him better.
Yeah. Don't worry, we found it.
Yeah, no worries, Dustin.
It's just someone took it out of the box and is like telling me to look for a white box.
Well, that's where they should have been. Alright, so here's the human skulls, and this is all I got for a Tempest, you know, closest to the human GW head. So, I mean, it looks about right if you put a helmet on it.
Oh yeah, there's so many skulls in that pack.
Oh, there's was like 100 skulls or something like that. Oh wait, there's a full skulls are further down. All right. So I mean they're about on par. Oh, this? I didn't even have paint this, actually. This was a reference that was sent in from a client. You want to hand me the big quote-unquote Tempest Scion we're doing for him? Which is really,
Heavy Gear Blitz.
no, Infinity.
Yeah, Infinity.
So basically I was given this model to go off of, and then I painted this from it.
Skulls can be used to place around like bases and that kind of stuff, like dead enemies. Or like if you want your person to be like wearing a skull on his hip, you could use it as decoration and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's mostly for basing and stuff like that. Or, scenery.
Yeah, like for this,
That's right. Skulls for the skull.
we really
throne.
just had you sew it. Like I may put a skull on this guy. What the fuck? Fabius Bile.
Yep. Kill
On his
Fabius.
base. I may put one there and possibly on the Death Guard too, and
Oh, I forgot he was up here.
I like that idea, Swift. I think that'll look really cool.
I gotta take so many photos. Like half these models I don't have on our galleries yet.
yeah, I'm working on a. You want to show him?
Yeah.
He just mentioned Fabius Bile.
Fabius Bill.
You may have to turn down your
I already did.
brightness again.
So this is Kendall's work so
Alright.
far on Fabius Bill. She acts like she has
Just
something
because
to
I know
worry
he
about.
mentioned it.
You just need to get a little bit of shading on that skin cloak there, and just a little bit of shading in the face there. Start bringing out some of those characteristics. I mean, you're doing just fine.
Yeah, that looks great.
Yeah.
Better than I can do.
Now, if only it didn't take me so much time.
It takes time, especially with
Why
hero
the
units
dot?
like that.
What did I do?
Here, I'm trying to think of what I got next here. Because mostly what I got on my plate is a bunch of level 3 Eldar and elves, like these from today. See, now it's too dark for these types because I'm using darker colors. Don't you guys just love cameras? It's almost too much. I wish I could have like a happy medium, you know what I'm saying, right between this line. Let's see here. What if I went like this? I guess that's kind of better.
It's a
There we go.
different idea.
That'd be interesting.
Also, I'm happy you guys enjoy my Fabius. I was worried, like, out of all of them, that he was the one that was looking the worst, so.
That's just
Yay.
you being self-conscious. Like, seriously, he looks great.
I haven't actually streamed on Twitch yet. I mean, I could.
I mean, we can either way. Like, I can do a couple of them on stream if she doesn't want to. Okay, I have no problem with that. I'd rather do that and show you guys different painting things than painting, the whole squad of elves over and over on the stream. Like, yes, we all know what these are going to look like. We covered it. I'd rather, keep it fresh. Besides, maybe my Fridays, which are going to be my Space Wolves, because I should probably do that. I mean, I've had them for like almost 2 years now, and I've only got like 5 out of 100 of them done.
And we'll see if, like, by the time I get to your Heavy Gear Blitz, if I'm more comfortable, I'll stream them. It's just, it won't be at this time. It'll be earlier.
You know, I should probably kick off my wolves with that rhino, Chuck. Now that you sent those parts, which I highly appreciate. I think that'd be a good starting point. Start with one of my oldest models that I had from when I was like 14.
You say that, but yet Jesse and Chuck have both been trying to convince me to stream.
Yeah, I mean, we don't see why you.
Good night,
don't.
Swift.
Night, Swift.
Good night.
So, to resurrect this thing, my glorious paint job from 14.
With these.
Yep.
Definitely need to take before pictures.
Oh, yeah. I think that'd probably actually be a cool thing to have on my website, like before and after.
Especially for that one, yeah. Yeah, I believe we were talking about that earlier, actually. He mentioned it.
It's not a bad idea. Especially for a Friday stream of, hey, this is what I painted when I was 14, and look how fancy I can make it now.
Yeah. Well, as you can see, I only had like 3 colors to work with. 4 colors to
Hey,
work with back then.
it's tabletop and battle ready. So
You know what?
put it down on the table and push
Yep.
it.
Pretty much.
And now you're going to make it into a showpiece.
Just pop a marine on there and go.
Exactly, Dustin.
So yeah, that would probably be good to take before pictures of. As you place a marine on it.
Hey, wait, that was a Primaris. They don't fit in rhinos.
No one ever said they couldn't stand on top of one, though.
True. Hey, that'd be a quick way to get an aggressor to the front.
Yeah,
Hop on, buddy.
on.
It just reminded me, I have that Space Wolf Combat Patrol I also have to finish up.
It's alright, I'll finish those.
Okay. I'm good with that.
You already laid down the primary
Oh.
for it. I can blow through the rest of it in my sleep.
Awesome.
I just had the stupidest
Tabletop
idea for a
simulator.
diorama.
Oh God.
Grab
Why?
a rhino or a razorback and either grab 3 suppressors or 3 inceptors and have them like towed behind it like kites.
Oh, Kendall, can you do me a favor? Can you go
What?
grab my Bjorn?
Yes. Anything else you want me to grab while I'm up there?
No, we'll just stick with Bjorn. Well, I don't need to show off all of my collection.
Do you want to show off your before and after?
Grab
Because
both
remember,
dreads.
you technically have 2 of them.
No, you can grab both dreads. That's fine.
The more the merrier, Pestilence.
Welcome to the
We're
club.
most of us are nice people.
Yeah, most of us. Every once in a while, you get that one guy.
And everyone who doesn't expect me to be a woman. That's
I
always
mean,
fun, too.
There's not that many female players, so I understand that.
But-
There needs to be more.
Every phone call I've made, they just kind of pause. And then they start talking when I say hello.
That's why I'm trying to get my daughter into 40K. She's into D&D now. We have a every other week game with friends. She was interested, and I said, if you want to do it, let's do it. So,
All right. So this is right before I started. Oh, not right before. It was like a year before I started doing commissions.
ooh.
Yeah, this is like this dude took me like a month straight to do. Back in the day, of course.
Okay.
And then as all us Space Wolves players know, we love our Bjorn.
We do. I mean, I love Bjorn, the model, even the old metal model,
I had
but
him.
I love his backstory.
Oh, I fucking love his backstory too.
I mean, he is almost literally the oldest Marine out there.
Yeah, like you want to talk about somebody that actually, saw a bunch of the crap that happened.
Fought alongside Russ, was there at Prospero. I mean, yeah, he's old.
Like,
Yeah, and what? That's only like like a
Thanks,
year
Pestilence.
difference between the two.
Yeah,
2 years, but yeah, basically.
2 years.
Thanks, Matthew.
Again, then you see mine, at least mine in progress, and it looks so different.
See if we can get them side by side here. So, I mean, that's not that far off. You can tell that my depth perception improved a bit. Like, I could tell, like, with my gold work, because Bjorn here has got a lot more definition to the gold.
Like, babe, remember?
You can bring them on over
Yeah.
here. We can do show and tell.
My little babies.
So, alright, you saw her Fabius pilot, right?
Yes.
Alright. So, this is one of the first Marines that she did. When I first
It
taught
was
her.
the first
This is the
Marine.
very first Marine that I had her paint. So, I mean, not horrible off the bat either.
No, that's really good.
I mean, let's look at the difference here. I mean, yeah. I mean, there's a bit of an age difference, but come on.
And it's red.
And it's red.
Just,
Blood
just
ra-
like
oh.
Dustin pointed out.
They are not blood ravens. They are blood angels.
That funny enough, that is a common joke though.
Oh, I didn't know if he was.
I don't
I
know
thought he was
either.
being serious.
We have some blood ravens upstairs if you want to see them, because that's what my little brother plays is blood ravens.
You know, make a meme out of it. Stick him on top of the rhino.
Drive me
He's
closer.
Yeah,
So I may
he's
hit it
just
with my
borrowing
sword.
it.
Oh, what this? It's like my skateboard, you know.
I will be right back.
Yeah, grab a librarian, a marine, and one of the bikes.
Oh,
Yeah. I was
which
expecting that.
ones?
His blood ravens.
Okay.
I can do
And
that. They're in my display case.
Pestilence is kind of funny. You mentioned Caster and Barbarian because that's what we play. My daughter plays a wizard, and I play her barbarian uncle, and we're both dwarves.
All right. So,
So
librarian, bike, and a little marine.
Yeah, a little
Anything
marine.
else you want me to bring down?
Nope, that's good. You can leave the repulsor and Stormwolf and all that up there.
Oh yeah, the really highly detailed blood angel you did for me.
I haven't even finished that one yet.
No, you haven't even finished it yet.
okay, so what I'm hearing is Fridays are wolves, Thursdays are blood angels.
I mean, that's totally up to her. Alright, so this is my little brother's work. So I'll start off as you got one of his blood ravens here. And this is from the Indominus box.
Wow.
And he's a lot like
Shiny.
yeah. He's a lot like Kendall, and he's very insecure about his painting, and I try to break him of that. And then you got his librarian. This is him when he was learning blending with colors.
Oh, nice, the Phobos.
Yeah.
See, the major reason why I don't stream is one, I'm shy. Two, I just think people are gonna hate me
And then
and like how I paint. So it's like,
looks like he's still looks like he's got a flat coat. These are awful shiny. But he's been working on his faces a little bit. He actually got the whites of the eyes and some actual eye holes.
Yeah, it's another reason all my Marines have helmets.
Yeah, I hate painting eyes. Like, I can normally get them, but nothing pisses me off more when I, when my white overruns everything, and it's like crap. It's like you get like 2 or 3 shots before it's like, okay, I gotta strip that. I gotta strip it now. 'Cause
I
it's just a
literally
glob.
picked the 2 factions that wear helmets the least, next to your Space Wolves.
My brother's gonna come down here. He's like, "What are you doing with my Blood Ravens?" Show and tell.
Okay, now just make sure I've got this right in my head. He did my original Skitarii, right?
Correct.
Yeah, you got way too much OCD. Because those
I'm
are
not
awesome
lying.
if they're anything close.
I'm not lying. Like I fully admit that I am OCD when it comes to this stuff. I'm trying to learn to relax. I am. It's hard for me, Chuck. It's hard.
Like I said, I get it. It's your business, and
Yeah,
I
do. Cross
completely
the
understand
line of
it.
sometimes I'm a little anal.
Yes, you will get full OCD on Morty.
Oh yeah,
That's in his hands, so he's going to go overboard.
Yep, because that's what I do. When's the last time you saw Morty? I'm gonna bring him back over here. I'm running out of desk space.
Good to know.
exactly.
Maybe I'll start streaming.
Yeah, I already volunteered that, Dustin. I'm like, hey, I'll show up on your stream and I'll be nice, and people who don't want to be nice to you, I'll growl at. So,
Yeah, do it up. That's what the raffle's for, man. I'm sorry for you, Chuck. I do not want to see this coming down at the table at me.
you know what? I have to say this. Even though, well, one, even though I got Dustin's Gilliman painted for him, and even though this one is going to be sat down at a table across from me, just like Robbie G will at some point, it's at least a really cool looking model. Paint job and everything. It's just like, I'm good.
I'm having an absolute blast painting him. Like, I had a hard time putting him down that Saturday. Like, after I got off stream to allow for the base to dry, so that way the glue could dry. But like that whole time I was just like, ooh, I could do this. Ooh, I could do that. I felt like a kid in a candy store.
He stopped stream. I had to stop him to come upstairs to eat.
What's that OCD kicking in?
And I will say, good call on the white armor, Dustin. And Jesse, that white looks fantastic.
I appreciate that. Like, as soon as I was told I could do white armor, I was like, ooh, perfect, because that's how I do my Death Guard, is with that white scheme. So I was like, that's right up my alley.
He already knew how to do them.
Yeah, that.
Can I have a lead belcher?
Yeah. One of these.
I mean, I've seen pictures, and I don't know. At first, when Dustin said it, I'm like, oh, it's your model. You do what you want. And I'm like, I don't know how it's going to look, but yeah, good call. I stand corrected happily, and that's really nice.
Well, like, the big thing with that, let's get that out of my crotch here. Is like, it's not that pure white. Like, it's not a clean white. I mean, it's like that rusty, dingy white. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. It's not like a white scar.
Yeah. Like, if it was that white scar, no, hell no, that would not look right. It'd be like, that is way too clean on something that's slimy and grimy.
Well, that's been used and, given to Papa Nurgle for the last 10,000 years.
Exactly.
But no, that is awesome.
So, just to let you know, Dust, you're probably gonna have to buy another Morty. I don't know if I can give this one up.
See, Dustin, you get something painted red, he happily gives it up.
He gives it up easily. I don't.
And I think it's kind of funny now that I've seen your brother's army and Kendall's army that you're the only one that doesn't have a red army.
Well, that's because they have red armies. It's like, okay, that's too much red.
I mean, you just need to pick up corn and just be done.
Okay, all right. To be fair, I do have a regiment
have some corn.
of Crimson Slaughter. So I do have red and gold
Okay.
from
I mean-
the original, was it Dark Millennium box or whatever? Because that's where I got my original Dark Angels from. It was Dark Angels and Crimson Slaughter before they went to the Primaris Dark Millennium box.
Right.
I mean, for me, really, like my main main army will be sisters, and they'll be yellow.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see that color scheme. I really am.
Well, I'm gonna do it smart and airbrush the yellow, and then paint everything else by hand.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Because yellow sucks to hand paint.
Yeah, so they're actually gonna be similar to your daughters, except for instead of purple, it's gonna be bright like neon yellow, and the deep black.
Okay. I still want to see it, I guess. I can still picture it in my mind because I can see her models in my mind, how you painted them and swap out the colors, but I don't know. I still want to see it like live, sort of live-ish,
Yeah.
Twitch-ish.
Yeah, and like it's gonna be awesome, I think. And I have a bunch of models. I even have a Celestine.
Ooh, Celestine.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
So
daughter saw
her
that.
with the yellow and black color scheme.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
think
gonna
she'll
be
look
really pretty.
awesome.
Yeah, like I said, my daughter saw that and went, "Oh, Dad!" I'm like, "No, you need to,
No.
you need to play with
did
what you
I
have
did.
now."
We were at our local GameStop and I saw it on the discount shelves and I looked at Jesse and I'm like, ooh, please.
Discount. Well,
The
That's
box
different,
was
but-
smashed.
Yeah, it was like, what did we pay for that thing? Like $40? When it was like originally like
Oh, wow.
70 or something like that. And I mean,
Yeah, we
the
paid, like,
screws were perfectly fine on the inside. It was just the box was
35.
crumpled a bit.
We
wow.
paid 35 for it. All the screws were fine, but they didn't open it.
Well, it's like
So it was just a
Right.
crushed
like,
box.
You know, like all these like Citadel handles and stuff like that. I mean, they usually sell for like $10. I got like 6 or 7 of them for like $1 a piece almost, because the boxes were damaged. I was like, I'll clean these out all day.
Yeah, I cheat. Dustin prints mine.
I don't blame you. Like I had like one or two, and then I just happened to see that because I was like, I didn't want to pay $10 for a handle, but like I want handles for like enough for like a whole squad. That way I don't have to keep on clipping.
Right.
But and then I just happened to see that bargain bin and just all of them in there. I was like, yep, grab the cart, load them up.
Yeah, I have one Citadel handle, and I think I had Dustin print me 4 more. And because honestly, I can only do 5 members of a squad at a time. And after I'm done with the 5th one, I'm done. I don't want to paint anymore for a while. I want to paint. I want to paint a vehicle. I want to build something. Of course, this week building's not working well, but you get the idea.
Totally.
And just and then after a while it's like, you know what, I don't want to paint anymore at all. Hey Jesse, here put me in the queue somewhere, I need this painted.
No, that's the way it usually goes. Like I have a problem with that too. Is like if I paint like for example like with these elves, like I have to every once in a while like I have to take a break like a day. It's like, okay, I'm gonna go paint something else just to refresh my brain, because it's like painting the exact same thing over and over and over again is really mind numbing.
That's one of the good things about this one. Is like I have
I'd have to read your
Oh my
manual of
God.
Pestilence to see how that game works.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2,
Does-
3, 4, 5. I have 6 different factions right now on my desk for one order.
They say variety is the spice of life.
Yeah.
So
Yep,
you're,
I
you're
got
living proof.
What better way to break you in, right? Just give you
Yep.
all at once.
I
Hey,
got
you want Eldar to go over there too?
Oh, good lord. I have 3 Necron, an Orc, a Goblin, a Death Guard. I have
A couple Necrons, Custodes, and an
2
Inquisitor.
Custodies. I have Fabius Bile, and I have a Christmas themed one.
Oh, the Red Gabo.
Yes.
I gotta still do that, the Red Gabo.
Yeah, you still have to do the other one. But I keep switching between them all, and it's like, okay, cool. I need a change of scenery.
All right.
More
red.
red.
All right. You know what? Fine. You know what? How about when you guys send me a Chaos Army? How about that? I'll do red. Just no Blood Angels.
But
Ravens.
Even Gobos go fast.
I was gonna go for Thousand Suns. They're not red.
You know what? I'm totally okay with that too because I actually want to paint some Thousand Suns. I mean, you want to talk about
What's
the
the
mortal
Thousand
enemy
Suns?
of Space Wolves? I'm good with that. It's the Sorcerer Chaos chapter.
Magnus the Red.
Magnus
There's
the
one
Red,
red
good old
model.
Cyclops.
Oh, and we have that just came in. Amalfarius.
Now I literally this model right here I was streaming earlier today.
We have painted pewter.
This is pewter. Here's one that's unpainted, sitting right next to it. Yep.
There's pewter. I have a resin one right here.
Pewter, resin, plastic, you name it, we paint it. Jesse and shit cast models. That's right. Always the shit cast models.
No, currently Kendall with fine cast.
Chuck, did I tell you what happened to my Rune Priest?
No, I don't think you did.
You know, it's the Rune Priest like that's holding up the axe in the air. You know which one I'm talking about?
Oh, it's like it was a limited edition one
I think so.
at one point. Yeah, he's like standing there, and I think it's his left hand holding up an axe. His right hand has like a pistol or something. And,
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like that old school like GW style where he's like really thin.
Right.
He's like wide but thin. Yeah, like I got that model, which is cool. You know, I loved it. But the fine cast bubbled on his nose, so he has no nose. Like it literally looks like, you know, if somebody like he's got like the like little tip like where his nose would start, and then it's just a cavity.
Right. I'd have to go check tomorrow. I may actually have a spare one of those that I could send you. It's pewter though.
A spare Rune Priest like that?
Yeah, he's already printed. You'd want to strip him, trust me.
Oh, well, that's not a big deal.
But yeah, when I got the deals on those Space Wolves, I think I got 2 of them. One fine cast and one metal, one pewter. So
Or pestilence. We can do any of them, and if say they are too heavy, like if they can't hold up their arms or the arm won't stay glued, we will also pin them.
Yeah, pinning, which is basically we place metal bars in the joints to strengthen them. Like, you know how you're talking about the old Bjorn earlier, Chuck?
Yeah.
Well, he's made out of pewter, and he weighs like a pound.
yeah, you stick him in a socket, you can use it as a weapon.
Yeah. When I think I told you this last time, because I had that was like one of like the first big models I had as a kid, like before that Rhino, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I painted him up, so happy with him, and used super glue on him. Well, he would only stay together for like maybe a month, but before his top heavy ass would fall in half, or his arm would fall off, and stuff like that.
Yep.
He fell apart so many times. I just got so frustrated with one day. I actually just picked him up and threw it at the wall. He went through the wall, never to be seen again, because there was a cubby on the other side with all kinds of crazy stuff in there, that my parents pack ratted. But no, it left like a baseball sized hole through the wall, and he was just gone.
Yeah.
Never saw him again.
Yes, that's also possible, but I'm not that confident. Actually, I should be, because I've actually been classically trained to use a soldering iron. But no.
I think I actually have a Bjorn, an old metal Bjorn. I think he's in pieces right now.
See, like, now if I was
Like I
going to
said-
do that old style again, I would be pinning him all day.
Yeah.
Nothing pisses
I
me
mean-
off more when pewter falls apart.
Yeah.
It's like
Well,
when
like
I
I
send
said-
pewter models back and like they fall apart of their joints. That's like they're pewter. You're gonna have to glue them back together. There's only so much I can do because like with these little guys, and how
Yeah.
thin like that arm right there is, I can't pin that. I mean,
Oh,
unless
good.
I went
Right.
in there with like magnifying glass and found like the thinnest
Right.
paper clip known to man.
Yep.
Like
know.
even some of the like I have a couple resin on my desk for another customer. He's a mass order, so I work on him over time. We send him small batches.
Hmm.
I've had to pin him together. Like super glue, nothing would keep them together. I had to pin it. And they just don't fit the best together.
Yeah.
Hand me that giant underwater monster.
I don't like
Cthulhu
pinning
looking
resin.
shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jesse, I know a guy who originally with another Bjorn
Yeah.
took literally a wad of green stuff in a bottle of super glue and put it inside and then put
Turn down the
everything
exposure
together,
here.
and it lasted forever, but it was heavier than it
You're
normally
gonna
should.
have
Whoa.
to turn your brightness down.
Yeah, so we have like with this guy, like, because he does a lot of D&D and stuff like that too. So I mean, he keeps me surprised. Like, I'll get stuff like this. Like, I'm working through an underwater set, so of course, I made a battle aerial over here
Right.
because you gave me a mermaid, and I was like, you know what, I gotta make a battle aerial. I mean, I just gotta do it.
And with these, he's basically giving us creative freedom to paint them however the hell we want,
Oh, nice.
with some liberty.
It's like, yeah, I mean, of course, there's factions because it is a game, so it's like an underwater, like Aquaman. If you've seen the Aquaman movie where they had different factions
Right.
battling underwater, so it's a lot like that. We have like mermaids
Can't
and then
reach.
crazy crustaceans, and then humans are in there, but they're all under like their diving, diving old style, diving bell helmets and stuff like that. So they're all pretty cool, but. Yeah, very interesting because there's like that one I just showed you, and then there's like this giant squid that I gotta do. Looks like a giant kraken. I should do a SpongeBob with a spear. I'd do it. Big old googly eyes, that's shit-eating grin.
Oh my god.
It wouldn't be a spear though; it'd be a spatula, of course.
Oh, that'd be too funny.
Yeah, he's an interesting client. He's a really good dude. We just got done with something we call the Fur Watch, which basically was Death Watch teams, but the heads were replaced with animal heads. So you had like an otter and a rabbit and a fox and stuff like that, and they of course had the tails to go with them and stuff like that. So it was really funny because we had I forgot I had a funny name for him, but he was like the sergeant or whatever, and it was a rabbit, and I made him kind of look like Bugs Bunny a little bit. But he had like two double swords. He just looked like he was about to like really screw somebody up, but then he had like this face on it that just makes you want to hug him.
Here's another one I've been working on for him.
Oh.
I don't mind if you show him.
And then here's also because this guy also likes, kit bashing and stuff like that. But I'm sure you remember the third Robuto I was working on that day. Well, it wasn't the right color that he wanted, so Kendall got to have fun with their Robuto. So
And he really likes these colors.
So this is Kendall's Robuto. That's not Robuto. And he went a little overboard
Something.
with he went a little overboard with his green stuff.
Ignore the green stuff. Look at the paint.
Oh no, the paint job is great. That's not what I was commenting on.
No, there was parts like on that shoulder, like if you stop on that one shoulder with the banner, he cut off it, but it was
Pestilence.
all like bumply, and I was like, how do I? Because you could still see the banner, but the banner didn't continue anymore. I'm like, what do I do?
Yeah, Pestilence, man. Like, the lore for 40K is nuts. Like, it's
30
hard to
years in the making.
Yep,
I stopped
it's
functioning.
so hard to compare 40K to anything else because there's just so much lore, and on the magnitude that it is, it usually blows almost everything else out of the water. Like,
Besides under his coat and the faces, I think my Fabius is finally done.
Yeah.
I just got to
Nice.
shade.
yeah, just give that coat, his skin coat, a little bit of a like a
Yeah.
Reichland flesh wash, just to help
I think
bring
he
in that
looks
tone.
really good.
I do too.
Thank you.
So you're gonna be sitting at this desk tomorrow, right?
Maybe.
We're gonna get her yet, Chuck. We're gonna get her yet.
The remaining models I have, I don't really think I would want to stream painting.
Oh, that's fine. I'd rather because those
Because I
have to
have
go out.
like,
Yeah, I mean those have to get out Monday, so that way we can get you on the next order anyways.
thank you.
See, Kendall, he actually has an ulterior motive. If you sit at his desk, all of the paints are there for when he shows up tomorrow night.
I love it.
Well, yeah, the thing is, I would be
Caught.
streaming
I'm
from,
caught.
it
Busted.
was like 1 to 4
Uh-huh.
or noon to 4. So I'd be doing about 4 hours, and then I would stop, bake dinner, and then he would be coming down right after.
Yeah, it'd be a shift change, basically. And then I want to get
Do you
Devin
have
for the
a-
late shift.
Does that mean you have to clock in and clock out?
I do, yes. I actually do. Like, even this guy is looking
He is
awesome.
he is such a slave driver.
He is. Like this one, all I really have to do is finish up the feathers and do the lion's pelt.
You still gotta shade that armor, though.
Yes, and fix the red, but
Mm.
even he's looking good. I'm getting everything to where I have to shade it, and then I can shade everything at once.
Okay, that's fine. Whatever floats your boat.
It just, that seems like the easier option. Maybe I can have you help me with feathers later, because I know we talked about what colors to use, I just don't remember.
Well, I mean, it really comes down to what you want on the feather. It's a lot of personal preference. Like, do you want the tip to be black or brown? Or...
Good night.
Night, Dustin. So it is past 9, isn't it?
Brown.
So brown, yeah. So all we gotta do is pick a brown, and then you'll use that same technique I showed you with the bone.
Okay.
And you'll just fade it in.
Yeah, Pestilence is a real quick explanation. They have put out so much lore in the last 30-ish years. They have had to retcon a lot whenever they come out with new editions. So, and the way they explain it is kind of neat, is they're saying, well, everything in the lore is what you hear. So it's kind of like that daisy chain game you play as a kid in kindergarten where you start with
Telephone?
something and go around the class. Telephone.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it gets all corrupted.
Yeah.
Like the Primaris Marines, they've never been mentioned.
Well, they're brand new.
Hey, we have all of these people hidden under a
Well,
mound.
that was supposed to be a secret. That's between Cull and Rabuto.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And
And
And it was
actually-
brought up at
oh,
the exact time
wait,
to
we're
sell new
losing.
models.
We're losing. We're losing. Open the vaults of Mars. Okay, we're winning. We're winning.
It
All right.
actually, it supposedly wasn't even a Vault of Mars. It was literally Call's ship. Like, Call's ship is massive, even compared by Imperial standards.
Oh, really?
Like, he could detach basically a manufactorum from his ship and land it on a planet.
So,
Oh, shit.
traveling Mars.
Essentially, if you read or get a chance to listen to The Great Work, it's a little convoluted because you have a storyline, but part of the storyline is going into the past and experiencing things in the past. Then you go back to the present, and then you go back to the past, and so you kind of do have to follow along a bit. But it's a great book because I read that book and came away with a complete completely different idea of what Call is and how Call acts and why he does what he does.
Yeah, because from the only I don't really know much about that Call besides he's kind of like outside of the
Call.
He kind of does his own thing.
He does, and again, you read the book, and spoiler alert. So if you don't want to listen, you might want to mute me. But in reality, Call should be. Call skirts the line between Admech and Heretic very quickly. Because literally,
in the 40K universe.
Well, yeah. Well, the Adeptus Mechanicus is all about we are going to our lost tech. We are going to find the things from the great age of technology. But they don't want to do science. They just want to discover what was lost. They don't want to figure it out, per se.
Right. They just want to not relearn what was already learned from the golden era.
Correct. They don't actually want to do like the scientific method, which is where Call is. There is no one in the Adeptus Mechanicus that could have come up with a Primaris Space Marine except Call because of the way he is.
So Call would have fit better in the golden age than he does in the current age.
Yes. And he actually has a few, at least one that I can remember, interaction with the Emperor himself.
Call, Cawl. Belias Call, was it?
Giant freaky monster.
Belisarius Call.
Belisarius.
I just typed it in. Because it's funny, like in the book, one of the Primaris Marines that he created is leading this little mission, and he remembers Call. He remembers essentially being tortured and everything, what he considers tortured for getting the Primaris organs, implants, and stuff put in.
Yeah.
He remembers all this, and he doesn't remember Call favorably. Well, at the end of the book, Guilliman has been trying to get a hold of Call, and it is literally Call's ignoring him. I need a status report. Call's like, yeah, whatever.
Put him in my voicemail.
Fuck you. Bye.
Exactly. Send him the voicemail. So, at the end of the book, he submits his report, and Guilliman, is happy, and he also, the person tells him Guilliman's happy. I sent him the report, blah blah blah, and Call's like, oh, okay, and then he looks at Call and says, oh, by the way, it doesn't look like you're going to get the Lord General of Mars position you wanted.
Oh,
and Call looks. Yeah, the head honcho, the person who is literally in charge of the cult of the Omnissiah for the Adeptus Mechanicus, their version of the Emperor. And Call looks at him and goes, "Oh, really? I didn't know I put in for it." And again, it's just he is literally such the scientist. Like Necrons coming through, Scarabs coming through. Call's just like blasting stuff, and he's like looking at him going, oh, well, I hit him twice and he didn't go down. I'll hit him a third time. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there are Primaris dying by the droves around him, and they're like, will you do something? And he's like, oh, yeah. I mean, he literally, like, and again, through the stories, and again, another spoiler, his mind is fractured because Call, the Belisarius Call that started 10,000 years ago during the heresy, figured out how to gather people's personalities and intellect into his own brain. So there are like 8 or 10 people, scientists from back then, that are in his brain.
Just chilling out, playing poker in his brain.
Screaming.
I don't know. Well, kind of in between both of those. Which again is, well, again, it is why he was the one. It is why I think the Emperor knew you are the only one that can do this, because like one of the persons that's in his brain is like a neuroscientist, which helped out with some of the gene seed and everything else, and making sure, you know, when they built the Primaris from a clone, they didn't go completely insane.
Right.
And, you know, he's got different scientists working on different things in his head. And I don't know who figures out who's in charge.
It's more of like passing the baton. Like, okay,
Who's
it's your
in
turn.
charge? Yes.
Your turn. I'm gonna go take a nap.
No, it's a who's in charge? Yes.
Well, the answer to who is in charge is Belisarius Call. His primary psyche is in charge. But again, because he accesses all of these other memories, these other intellects, these other consciousness, his own psyche has been fractured. I mean, imagine doing that for 10,000 years.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's worse than talking to yourself. It's,
exactly.
Having 8 people
so,
to talk to. With their
exactly.
own minds,
so,
you know, thoughts and feelings and.
I just realized we're talking as this as I'm working on a tech priest.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
But yeah, and I mean, in the lore, yeah, his ship shows up. There's been a battle. An Ultramarine ship is there, and they're like they've just retaken